Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tales on Tap, the place where good friends get together and share stories about little blue phoenix things that rise out of water, being pissed off about still being in a cave, and losing dear, dear friends. I hope that you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining us again this week. I just had to throw that in there, guys. I'm so sorry.
Come on in.
Welcome back in, guys. Thank you so much again for joining us. Just before we get into tonight's episode, we do have a couple of announcements to get through. As always, our sessions are sponsored by our good friends over at Valkyrie RPG. If you haven't already and you're in the market for some cool D&D dice and dice trays and t-shirts and all that other cool stuff, then head over to valkyrie-rpg.co.uk and use Tales10 at checkout, and you'll get 10% off store-wide purchases apart from subscription packs. I've never mentioned that before, but I was told to mention it when we first sorted this all out. But that's important. So
consummate professionals here.
Yeah. And also, because Valkyrie are such good friends of ours, they have been kind enough to sponsor our April giveaway. Now, there's still 2 weeks left of the giveaway, so if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. That's all you have to do to enter the giveaway. Any subscribers between now and the 24th of April will be in the prize draw that will be drawn on the 25th of April. We're giving away 3 separate prizes. There are a set of dice to be won for third prize, a set of dice and a cool little leather dice holder tray thing for second prize, and first prize you get a set of dice, the dice holder thing, and a dice rolling tray as well. So hit that subscribe button. And I know that times are tough, and if you haven't already, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get a free subscription every month, and you can hit that pink button down there for free. Also, we are back on Thursday with our Spelljammer campaign. Woo! So we are back on Thursday for Spelljammer with our other Han. Sorry, Han. I always forget that. Also, if you guys are in the market for some cool artwork and you want something commissioned, then reach out to us on our Discord. The link for our Discord is down there. If you haven't already joined that, by all means, hit that link. Join the Discord community. There's some cool stuff going on there as well. And yeah, reach out to us on Discord. You can reach out to us on any of the social media platforms. All the links to those are downstairs as well.
Downstairs?
Yeah, downstairs. Like we're in the upstairs, downstairs in the thing. Yeah, in the wine cellar. Cool. But yeah, all the links to social media are down there as well. So make sure you head over to our social media and hit follow and like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff as well. Now the technical difficulty with Natalie's internet has subsided, why don't we jump in and say hello to everyone? Hello, everyone.
Oh.
How are we all?
My internet this time, it just shut down. My computer just turned off.
Excellent.
I don't want to play.
Probably heard some of the conversations we were having before we went on.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that about wraps it up. I don't know if there's any other announcements, unless you guys have got anything that I've missed.
I don't think so.
Nailed it.
Amazing. I've done it this week.
You did it.
Without a fault. Excellent. So, without further ado, why don't we get back into the action of the Fallen? So, guys and girls at home, go get yourselves drinks, get yourselves comfortable as we jump into tonight's episode, Tales on Tap.
I'll keep this brief. There are pressing matters at hand. This whole mission to Mithranor has been one disaster after another. Traps, sludge monsters, infernal rituals. It has pushed us to our limits, both individually and as a team. Even after all my journeys, I'm not accustomed to such feelings of doubt. And now, let me stick to the facts. We failed. Whatever blight is affecting this forest, its source seemed to be a ritual occurring deep within the ruins, a ritual we failed to stop. We managed to escape the chamber with our lives, but not much else. We were sapped and weary, some of us barely able to stand. Killian was not so ready to accept defeat, and urged us blindly towards the newly emerged danger. Were it not for the elven elixir of restoration, he had been given for emergencies, I would have told him to shove this forest up his arse and gotten the hell out of this place. And maybe I should have still. Anyway, as we recovered, I saw a mote of light emerge from the rapids below the bridge on which we stood. I tried to ignore it, thinking it another trick of the dwarves who built this place, but eventually it came to us, inspecting us each individually, but taking a particular interest in Michael, before instructing us to follow it deeper into the caves. I will not judge Michael for wanting to pursue his own personal goals, but Jove and I felt we were wasting time. Whatever this so-called guardian was minding, it certainly wasn't the ritual chamber or surrounding ruins and forests. Ashar joined him, diving down the waterfall and being swept downstream. I did my best to maintain contact with the help of feathers who surveyed the deeper tunnels. Thankfully, this distraction was not entirely fruitless. Ashar was able to locate the rare herb that would help treat those affected by the blight. Michael also seemed to have gotten some answers, but he's yet to elaborate. This guardian then transported us, or rather expelled us from the ruins and back into the forest above, where we could hear the massive creature that had been summoned tearing through the trees. Killian said he would get word to the glade, but could not wait for reinforcements and risk finding out the purpose of this creature served. The problem had to be dealt with, and we were the only ones in a position to do it. I've heard people speak of duty before their demise enough times to know that it is a foolish concept, but still, it was our only choice, to avoid utter failure and dooming both the glade and our chances of securing allies. I formulated a plan, a rudimentary one at best, that would barely pass in a tavern full of drunken farmhands, but better than nothing. Enough at least to give us the precious few moments needed. I took the guise of the one summoner we had left behind in the ruins and instructed the others to approach for a surprise attack once I had caught the beast's attention. It didn't go quite as planned. For the plan to succeed, timing would be crucial, but in the face of this vast dragon-like entity of branches, vines, and rot, they hesitated. It's not their fault, though. I should have been more clear and more explicit. Were it not for Jove's less than subtle advance alerting the beast, I may have been destroyed where I stood. Whatever this thing was, it was terrifying. An embodiment of all the hateful disease and foulness that we have trudged through to meet it. We've come face to face with dragons and their like before, but this felt more feral and corrupt. It did not take to the skies, but dissolved into the ground and emerged to spew vile clouds of gas and acid around it, until we could barely see the forest around us. We fought as hard as we could. All of us did. I could do nothing but try to burn it away, and I lost track of the others during the fight, until eventually I saw it tearing into Jove and almost crushing Michael flat on the ground as he fell. I rushed to his aid, and as I did, the thing began to stumble, and Jove, bleeding from every limb and orifice, took it by one of its horns and cut through it the beast's neck, finally bringing it down. It was then I heard a shriek, and Ashar calling out to Feathers. She was wounded. She is wounded, gravely so. The most gravely one can be wounded, and is now comatose, unresponsive, fallen. But this is why we have contingencies. We can fix this. We must fix this. Forests, cult, and dragons be damned. I have to go. And then I'll immediately turn around to the rest of the group, having done that. What are we doing? We need to get a move on. Have you got her in the cauldron?
Natalie! Natalie!
That was amazing. Amazing background change immediately into clouds.
Oh,
I
no way.
love that. That was amazing, like right on cue. So, you guys find yourselves on the outskirts of this clearing. Ashar on your knees, still holding feathers in your arms. The rest of you stood around, looking down at your fallen comrade.
Yo, do you think you can carry her?
Yeah, I'll just put her in the cauldron. I'll get to my axe. I'll carry her on my back. It's fine.
Don't need to put her in the cauldron right now, do we?
I don't know, but I don't know how this shit works, but we have to do something, alright?
Okay.
Just hand over.
Dan, just before we get too into RP, because it's very emotional.
Oh, yes,
D20s for notes.
Yes!
Oh wait, I'm out.
So,
you're
it is just, it's just Feathers, Ash, and Jove, right?
Surely
No, I
Feathers
did mine.
can't.
It's me as well.
Yes, it's me or
No,
Evan.
you did last week, right?
I did last
Yeah.
week, yeah.
Oh, Jove did last week. Okay, whoever
So
needs to
it's
roll a
the three of us.
d20. Yeah, so it's
Evan,
Feathers, Ash,
me,
and...
and Han. But,
Yeah, but
can Feathers do it?
Can Feathers
from
really
her
do it?
Yeah, you
perspective?
can roll the fucking dice, man.
Okay, I'm
I'm
good.
beyond the grave.
Hold on, if anyone can take notes tonight, brother, it's you.
She's
Like, what-
having a match.
recap.
Feathers is hanging above us, having an out-of-body experience.
I'm cool with doing that, but I don't think you're gonna. That's fine.
Okay, what did you roll?
I rolled an 18.
18.
11.
11.
11.
Are you fucking kidding me? I rolled a 12.
No!
Well, okay.
Yeah, how have you done it again?
Han, if you don't mind, if you could make
Yeah,
notes for me
yeah.
tonight, that'd be dope. Thank you so much.
You got a
As-
4 when I got a 3 last week as well.
I know.
Yeah. I literally
Your times
had
are
it-
coming.
My times.
Whoever needs inspiration right now, so I don't know if anyone hasn't got inspiration, but you need to,
I
you need,
don't.
the JJ Timmerman, you need to specify which character. You can't just say it's up for grabs. So specify a character,
I don't
please.
have it.
Don't?
I don't have it.
Anyway.
I don't have it either.
I don't think many
I
of them
think,
have
I think
it.
we all,
used it
we all
all.
got wiped of everything last
Yeah.
time.
So, as you guys are stood around, Killian turns to you all. Well, the owls shouldn't be long. We can start making our way back on foot for now. They shouldn't be long.
Right?
I am
Has
so
this-
sorry, my friends.
Don't give empty apologies that mean nothing. We helped you deal with it. Now we must go and fix this.
Where this thing fell, has it just dissolved into nothing?
There is nothing there. There is
So is the
nothing
blight
there.
gone?
No, the blight is still there.
Okay.
I might just sort of start just looking around where it fell to see if anything was left behind when it dissolved away.
Okay, make an investigation check then, please.
Could I do the same, specifically looking for anything that Feathers drops? If she's dropped anything.
She will have dropped her bow.
Alright,
I got 17.
I'll see if I can find it.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, you will be able to find it. You don't need to investigate. It'll be just lay on the ground somewhere. You'll be able to go and pick that up.
Okay.
17. There doesn't appear to be anything that has been left behind. It's sort of as if it's kind of just completely fizzled away into nothingness. As you're looking around, there doesn't appear to be any remnants of it at all. As you are looking around, though, Clovis, and you're searching the ground, from behind you, you hear, "Oh my! You did it! I am so very happy!" And as you turn and look, there is a blue feathered phoenix hovering 4 feet above the ground. Thank you! Thank you so much!
You're most welcome. I thought you weren't able to leave your
Oh,
area.
I had to stay there to protect what needed to be protected, but now that you've taken care of the bad thing, This fills me with such joy. I can now get to work.
You're most welcome, but unfortunately it came with a great price. You helped my friend before. Michael?
Yeah.
Your friend is back. Can
Hello,
you...
Guardian. I'll sort of
can you
wipe
do
the blood off me.
Can you do anything to help our friend? She is temporarily fallen and is in need of great help.
Oh, that is really bad. I'm really sorry that I can't do that. I can do something that might help, though.
Yeah,
And
whatever you can, please.
you see the bird fly up another 5-10 feet, start flying in a circular pattern really quickly, and then dive bomb into the ground. And as the bird just narrowly misses the ground, this kind of pulse of blue arcane energy erupts from its center and into the ground and across the ground. And a moment or so later, you see the rot begin to subside and the green of the grass start to come through again.
I suppose that's reassuring. Come on, we have to move.
JJ Timberman gave you inspiration, Asher. Well, thank you, all of you. You've done a great deed for the forest. I wish you well in whatever comes. And
Weird fucking question, but you don't perhaps know where to find salt, do you? Salt rocks. I know it's strange, but I know it can be mined or extracted, so...
I'm sorry, I do not know about that.
Right. It was worth a shot.
Take care, heroes. And
Perhaps there is one thing you might be able to impart on us as a way of thanks. A
Yes?
tail feather. I have read that creatures such as yourselves, their feathers can grant great boons of luck and comfort.
If you're doing this just to get another magic quill, bro, I'm gonna fucking pass out.
It's got to be worth something,
Is it
right?
a phoenix? Is it a phoenix tail feather that the magic
Yeah,
quill is
yeah.
made of? Oh, you bitch.
Very well. It is the least I can do. And it spins, and as it hits and passes through the earth, just as it does, one singular feather floats and then comes to rest on the grass where it disappeared.
I'll take it. And I'll just...
Killian turns to you, Jove, and goes, do you have any cloth?
Yeah, I think I do. Hold on. He says, looking through his actual inventory. He sort of like shakily throws off what things he had on him, and I got a bedroll. I got the thing you sleep in. It's got a cloth with it, I think. Or
I just need
that's the best I can do.
I just need a tiny bit. Just put around an arrow. I'm gonna send a signal up.
Yeah, take it.
He
He just sort of like
literally,
hacks off a bit with his axe and just
literally
throws it
ties a
away.
bit to the bow. Takes out his flint, lights the actual fabric of it, pulls the bow up, and sends this arrow flying into the air. Well, we best get moving. Follow me. And he kind of puts a hand down to help you up, Ash.
I just shake myself off and get up myself without kind of snubbing his hand. I'm fine. Let's go.
Hey.
Do we need to put her in the cauldron before we go?
She's in there, isn't she?
Is she? Did we
Yeah,
put her in?
she is. Yeah.
Okay. So like the world's saddest Bindle, he just sort of hooks the tip of his axe to it and just like slings it over his shoulder.
Oh.
And just like very tiredly at the back of the group just starts walking along with feathers in back.
Okay. Is there anything anybody wants to do in this time?
Breathe.
Disassociate.
Continue to do so.
Ash is just kind of walking a bit ahead of the group and is just muttering under her breath.
Okay. You guys travel on foot for around an hour through the dense thicket of the forest, and as you are moving and walking through, the forest and the rot begins to subside quite at a pace, but kind of as you're walking out from its center, it's kind of pushing past you, and you see that as you're walking back towards the towards Aluvan, you see that the rot is subsiding, and you see that fucking hell. You see that life is starting to be breathed back into the forest itself.
What did I miss?
Natalie changed the background to a cauldron.
Oh, nice.
Any sign of
Give me 2 seconds.
Well,
owl friends?
you guys travel for about an hour before you hear the flap of wings above
okay.
you. Killian hears it and again pulls another arrow out and shoots it up, but this time only low, just kind of cresting around 50 feet above the canopy of the trees, just kind of looping the arrow. The wing, the noise and the sound of the wings flapping in the wind gains and becomes closer and closer until above you, you see 3 very large owls and owl riders back, each one, as they all come into land. Killian immediately jogs up to meet them. I'm glad you're here. We need to get back, and quick.
I'll jog up beside him. Which of you flies the fastest?
As you kind of look, there are 2 male individuals, one with short kind of auburn hair tied in a kind of top knot, another long blonde hair, one that you actually met and saw as you were entering the large tree back in the glen, and then there is another female with ginger, kind of long bob cut, kind of shoulder length, kind of free flowing, fringe across the face, all wearing very similar vestments, very similar armor, with the green tunics and the leather brown armor on. And it's the female that kind of turns and looks at you and goes, "That'd be me."
Right. Jove with feathers.
Give her to Michael.
Michael, go with them.
He just sort of like hauled around it and just sort of places it gently in front of everyone.
Right. Do you think you can fly the 3 of us?
Well, be much faster with 2.
It's fine, I'll
Right.
wait.
You know what you need. Get whatever you need started as soon as you can. We'll be along.
Yeah. Oh,
Very well. Come on then. And you all see that, given there is 4 of you and 3 owls, Killian turns to you all and goes, "We won't all fit. I'll follow on behind. You guys need to get back for your friend. It shan't be too long. Probably there
Is it
before
1 person per
nightfall."
owl? Is it 1 person per owl? Sorry, I missed what was going on.
There's a rider on the owl already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 3 owls, one person per owl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so one is
One
going.
one rider, one passenger.
Well, no. So one rider and one passenger is going with Feathers. That's the girl, and then that would leave you kind of three.
Oh, I see.
That'd leave three of you. Oh well, Killian could probably come as well at that point then.
Pop him on with me. I'm like.
Yeah, fine.
So am I, to be fair. I'm pretty spindly.
Yeah.
You guys.
Are there any other? Are there any others that dwell within this forest?
There
Ones
are.
that might be open to trade.
No, in terms of civilizations and people, it's just us. We keep it that way.
We need resources. We need salt. Are there salt mines? Something. A sea. Something nearby.
Not that I know of.
We'll see what you have back at the glade, I guess.
And as you all climb on the back of these owls, the one with Michael and holding the cauldron with Feathers in takes off at a ferocious woof and sets off. Michael, I'd like you to just be on the understanding that you're clenching hold of that cauldron and you have to hold this. You're holding on to the waist of this elven individual on the back, and she is flying as fast as she can. And as you breach the canopy, you see the very large, the large tree off on the horizon, that signals the glen, and you, woof, set off, all of you, at pace. You travel for around an hour and a bit, Michael, before you start to descend towards the glen. The rest of you see Michael off in the distance, quite a way off. The rest of you aren't traveling at such speeds, given that, Clovis, you're holding a dog in your arms, as well as, Jove being in front of you. The owls are fast, typically, but carrying quite a load at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, the owl comes in to land in the owlery. What do you do?
How far is the drop from the owlery to the ground?
Oh, 120 odd feet, if not more.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take Feathers, launch myself off, and when I hit about 90 feet from the ground, I'm gonna thunder step myself down and just start bolting
Okay.
with Feathers.
That's sick.
Okay, and this crackle of thunderous energy and this loud eruption of thunderous noise throughout the glen as you land and start running. Where are you heading to?
Naya.
Okay, so you're going from the southernmost point in the glen, racing past. As you do, people are looking at you holding and hoisting this kind of cauldron and racing across the glen. It doesn't take you too long, only a few minutes, but you reach across the small stream up the hill towards Naya's hut.
I just run straight up to the door and go, Naya, please, open up.
Hey!
It's Michael, we met before.
I remember you, hold on. And she kind of comes to the door and goes, I didn't expect you back so soon. What's wrong?
She's dead. I have this cauldron. I know how to operate it, but I need salt. I need massive amounts of salt. I'm no healer, but this thing can do it. You're the only person I know who has any sort of herbalistic knowledge.
Oh dear, I'll get what I can, but I don't have much. I don't often need much.
Do you know where I can find some? I can run and get there.
Oh my love, I'm sorry. That's not the people here. We don't tend to use much in the way of it. You can
Do
have
you
whatever I
any,
have.
Any sea here, or any saltwater lakes, anything that
We're completely landlocked. The closest sea isn't hundreds of miles away. It'll take you days to get there. I am
don't know
sorry.
how.
Just wait right there. I'll get what I've got. And she starts rummaging around and comes back and with a little satchel and hands it over. That's everything I have. You're welcome to it.
Thank you. I'll take whatever I can get. Thank you.
Check at the food stores. They might have more.
All right. Could I perhaps leave her here with you until I come back up faster on foot without her?
Of course, yes, of course.
Okay. Thank you. And I'll just start running, and I'm double dashing. I don't care if I get exhausted. I'm just gonna get as much as I can, as fast as I can.
You race back down the hill, past the entrance to the large tree, down towards the water's edge, across the stream, and to where the food
I'm gonna
stores
taste
are.
the water as I'm running.
You
Pause
do.
just
It
to
is
see.
it is fresh water, unfortunately.
Fuck. I'll spit it like.
God damn this fresh water!
Yeah.
You race up to the food stores. The elven, kind of darker-skinned gentleman is there, and he's oh, all right. What's your hurry?
I need as much salt as you can spare me.
Oh,
All of it.
we only give away day's rations for anyone that comes asking. That's the policy.
I have a friend who's just fallen, and salt is the only way I can revive her.
Well, sorry, but policy's policy. I'm not one for breaking the rules.
Please, I beg of you. I'll replenish anything that
Make me a
That'll
persuasion
get-
check.
persuasion. Why did I take fucking deception as a skill? 12.
12. Right, okay, but if you have to replace it, and you tell no one about this, because otherwise it's my ass.
I'm silent as the grave.
Wait there.
Sorry, I had to make a pun. I mean, come
Very
on.
good.
How dare
That
you.
was
very-
very good.
That was very
Nick was
nice.
fine.
I
Nick
enjoyed
was
that.
Very.
In the meantime, the rest of you come into land at the owlery. All disembark from the owls. What do you guys do?
I'm immediately going down the stairs
Hmm?
and sending out a message to Michael.
Yep.
If I can reach him. Just saying, we're back. Where are we?
You can reply, Michael.
But this is at Nias. I'm gathering salt. Go to every stall, every merchant, every shop that you can see. Even ask Holmes.
Very well. I'll pay a stop to someone whose name Bula first. They might be able to bring together the resources of the glade, the glen, quicker than we.
Ash, while you're talking, has descended the steps with you and is heading straight to the great tree.
Okay. So Clovis and Ash, you're making a beeline to the great tree. Jove, I assume you're following?
Yeah, I would-
A lot slower than those two. He's basically toppled off that owl. Like, he is so badly wounded. He's sort of just hobbling, like holding himself and just watching them go and knowing they're doing what needs to be done. So just a good, fair pace behind them. But yes, he is making his way somewhere.
yeah. As we stormed out of the owlery, I would have just said to any of the guards or elves that were standing around, "Get this man some aid,"
And raced, okay.
and raced off.
Killian kind of looks towards you, Joe, and goes, "You gonna be alright?"
Yeah, I've been worse. This isn't. He sort of looks down and there's like blood just soaking his palm, and he sort of holds the slash mark where the dragon got him. He's like, I mean, I had a building fall on me, but this is, I'm just hurt.
Alright,
This
well,
Very
next,
hurt.
next thing.
your friends need me. I'll Meet us at the Great Tree when you can.
Yeah,
Wait!
that's fine.
And Killian just
go.
starts racing down the stairs after you two. Michael, the chap in the food stalls, walks back with a small box about this big and hands it over and goes, "This is all I got. You don't use it often. It's been here for a while, but
That's
you're welcome
okay.
to it. Replace
you.
that before you leave."
Will do.
Okay.
And I'll just run to next.
Okay. I need to take a quick break, 2 seconds, but I'll let you guys roleplay. You guys racing to the big tree, so they're not sat here in silence.
Do.
Keep up, Ashar. You're too slow.
Oh yes. I'm so sorry. I'm a little bit wounded.
She's still faster than you, even if she's fucking crawling, mate.
I am about
even,
to die.
even if I'm dashing, dude. Like,
Yeah.
got no hope. I know I've got
45
a cane,
feet base movement. Let's go.
She's doing the worm in the 50 feet ahead of me.
She's running backwards.
Yeah. I was like, come on.
One turn, Ashar can bonus action Step of the Wind, action dash, and get to the coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the sea, guys.
Oh yeah, I should tell you about that so you can just sprint there.
Gonna run to the sea.
So as you
Mark
guys are
2.
racing through, you do see that a lot of the people within the glen are kind of like looking wide-eyed, seeing these people just racing through. They do recognize you, obviously, so nobody's stopping you from doing anything. But as you kind of start approaching the main tree, you see that there are 2 or 3 guards posted outside the great tree, and as you start approaching with Killian, one of them steps out and kind of puts his hand up and goes, "Okay, what seems to be the hurry?"
We have done you a great service. Now we require an audience with Lady Bula and Lord Sandrin, if you please.
Very well. Ah, Killian, you're back. Yeah, this is urgent. Send word now. Very well. If you just wait there, I'll send word and we'll see if we can get that audience for you. And he walks off into
She's
the
just
great tree.
pacing as we were having to wait. She's just not staying still at all, just pacing.
As you're walking through the Glen Jove, you do see that somebody walks up to you and goes, "Well, you've looked worse."
Do I know who this person is?
Yeah, you do. So this is the individual that was sent over to the house when Ashar was unconscious to see if they could rouse her, and wasn't able to do anything. I don't believe that was Naya.
No, that was Naya.
Was that
That
Naya?
was Naya.
I've lost my list of names.
Yeah, that was Naya.
It was Naya.
It was Naya.
It was Naya. It isn't Naya that comes up to you then, but somebody else walks up to you. Was it? I'm sure there was. Oh yeah, it
Just
was
a
Naya.
random
It
person.
was Naya that went to the house.
Hello.
Anyway, right.
Hello, random stranger.
Hello.
As long as it's not L.
Yeah. And walks up and just kind of goes, "Are you okay?"
Sort of knowing he's probably not the best to get into the tree right now, he just sort of takes a lean against something and then just slumps against and says, "Not really. I'm very badly hurt. I'm not gonna die, I don't think, yet, but
Well,
yeah.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Just let me have a look.
Oh yeah,
and-
no, I'm really good. You can tell, right?
And that individual is going to cast Cure Wounds on you for seven hit points. Not
I'll
Cure
take it.
Wounds, Healing Word, not Cure Wounds, Healing Word for 7 hit points. And you see the wound on your side closes. You do feel a little bit more rejuvenated. Michael, after receiving the box, what do you do?
Just start knocking on homes, see if anyone can give me anything.
Okay, this is going to take you some time. But I will save you a little bit of time. After knocking on 3 or 4 homes and speaking to people about this, you know that this isn't a commodity that most elves use, especially given the fact that they are all vegetarian and have no real necessity for
Food is bland as fuck.
salt.
What?
Doesn't salt vegetables.
Who doesn't salt vegetables?
The elves here do not.
How white are these elves?
It's too spicy.
So, there isn't much to get. You do get a small portion more than what you currently have, but only small. We're talking salt shaker size more. There isn't a lot. After a short time, the individual at the Great Tree walks out and goes, Lord Sandrin and Lady Bula will see you now. Follow me.
Yeah, as soon as he says that, I just walk past
Yeah,
him.
I'm just also not even registering, just going in.
I disguise self into the sort of smart kind of ceremonial clothes that we were given.
Okay. You enter into the Great Tree. Lord Sandrin is there. Lady Bula is not. Lord Sandrin goes, Ah, you have returned.
I'll step into the chamber and bow my head. We have. Though not all of us complete. One of our team have met a terrible fate in the saving of your forest. Thankfully, all we ask in return to bring her back is salt. Do you have any?
Well, this is good, but also bad news that you bring. I am sorry for your fallen friend. But a great deed you have done for this forest if you claim it has saved. And Killian kind of steps and goes, Aye, true. We did it. Salt is not something that we often trade in. Not a commodity that we have in great abundance. I am sorry. This is not something that I can provide.
Where can provide it, Lord Sandrin?
As I say, and I told you before, we do not often trade with folk from outside our means.
I know, but a civilization as careful as you must have information about the outside world. It would be amiss for you to not know, in times of crisis, where to acquire such goods.
Really, anywhere will do. You were able to transport us here via some tree portal. Perhaps you can put us back somewhere that might be useful to us, a major city or something like that.
Most major cities probably would carry the wares that you speak of. And in times of great need, the knowledge of such things is not remiss in my mind. But in times of great need, it is often things like this that you do not often speak of or think of. You have done this forest a great service. Unfortunately, salt is not something I can provide, but I will grant you one request. Speak it and it is yours, whatever it may be. If it is something I can provide, I will.
The terms of our agreement were that if we saved your home, then you would help us in our quest. Those terms remain. However, with the added caveat that we must be transported away from here as we were brought here, but this time sent to a place where we can acquire what we need. A small caveat, I'm sure you'll agree, and one that probably would have been expected anyway, given we were plucked away from...
That
Our
was
original-
not our original agreement. You are absolutely correct. We don't often use such means of travel. But I think you'll find it be most agreeable to those that came to our aid. Wouldn't you agree, husband? As Lady Bula steps into the main room. You always were the most charitable one out of the two of us. Yes, I was. Forgive my husband. He is often the most tactile of individuals. I am truly sorry. He isn't the most tactile of individuals. You may not have heard that correctly. I am so sorry to hear that you have lost one of your own.
She is not yet lost.
Perhaps not. We will, of course, agree to the terms that you have just given. We will come to your aid when called upon, should you need it. We will bring the full force of the Kirikator wherever needed, should you ask. You must understand, however, that puts our people at great risk, but I have been pondering what you spoke of when we first met, and if your words be true and this world is in grave danger, then the Kirikator must become a part of it. Isn't that right, dear husband? He just kind of rumbles. It is time that we open our borders. For if we hadn't, and we hadn't met you, our fate would have been one less fortunate than it is. So I think it is time that we changed our ways and reached out to those beyond the forest.
I'm just going to turn to Lord Sandrin, and I'm going to say, Lady Bula is indeed wise, and do not get me wrong, I understand the comfort and security of isolation. But these are dark and dangerous times, and we must forgo our nature and band together.
Very well. Then it is done. Once you have decided where you wish to go, return here with all of your friends. We will see it done. And please do return here before you decide where you go. There is one more parting gift I wish to bestow upon you all.
We will return.
Much obliged, Lord and Lady.
Killian turns to the two of you and goes,
I do another deep bow.
I do the thing. I've forgotten it, but I think it was like that. That was it.
yeah. Killian turns to the two of you and goes, now if you don't mind, just I need a minute with Lord and Lady Bula, something I need to take care of.
That's fine. We need to go find Michael and Jove.
I'll come and find you shortly.
Okay.
We were lucky to have you there, Killian.
Thank you.
We were lucky to have you.
That's also true.
We're so lucky to have each other.
It's the friends you make
As a-
along the way!
As I say, sort of backing away like that.
As you two leave, you kind of like look back over your shoulder and you see Killian is actually on one knee with his head bowed towards Lady Bula and Lord Sandrin, and his hands open towards them. You leave. Where do you go?
Well, that wasn't the result I was hoping for.
What community has no salt?
Elves. Fucking elves.
No wonder the food was shite.
Whoa! I did very nice descriptions of that food.
Yeah, but now I know there's no salt.
Thankfully, the entertainment made up for it. Now, let's find the others. Michael?
Michael, as you're running around, knocking on doors, you kind of get turned away from a couple of houses and start to feel that this is a venture that isn't going to be as fruitful as you desired. And as you kind of turn a corner, you see Jove catching his breath, kind of leant against one of the houses.
I'll just go there and slump next to him. None of these fuckers have salted rocks.
What do you mean they don't have salt? How do they cook?
Something tells me they don't. I only got this. I hold up the small patch from Naya and the little thing.
Oh, I knew this place sucked.
Yeah.
What the hell are we gonna do now?
I don't know. Head to a major city. Buy some, steal some, kill some.
I don't
With
think
me?
we're close to anywhere.
Michael's
Leaving remotely around
next
here.
arc is him just killing rock salt.
Salt
I'll
golem.
go and smash some earth elementals. Like, I don't fucking care. I'm on a run.
Did you get my message?
You will do after this conversation
Oh,
towards the end.
I don't know. Maybe the elves can. I mean, they did the tree thing, right? Maybe they can do the same thing and plop us off in water deep or something.
Yeah, there's gonna be tons there. If they do it, I think Ash and Clovis are talking to Bolo and and something. Whatever his fucking name was.
Wasn't that your mechanical friend?
Oh, that's Sen. He was technically. But
What
no,
did you say?
it's Sandrine, San something,
Oh,
whatever his
oh.
name was. I don't know. The king
Right.
and the queen of these guys.
Bolan sandals. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Those guys, Sandal, that was it. I knew it was something close.
Handles.
Follow in sandals.
What do we do, Mike? What did we
I
do?
don't know.
This is
We
just...
we fall and we get back again.
Well, it's not as easy for some as it is for others. Just because you got up doesn't mean she will. I want her to, but
She's
I think I-
crafty. You know that more than I do.
even she can't steal from death. No one can. Once you're done, you're done. There is no coming back. Well, that's not technically true, I guess. But
I mean,
I
you're
don't think there should
staring
be.
in the face of the fact that you can come back. Although I don't wish my life upon her, but I'm pretty sure that if she was to make some kind of a deal, she would probably make a better one than whatever I had.
maybe we need to find out what those two. All right. And he sort of like shoves himself against the tree and like grinds up to sort of take a stand.
Jesus
go
Christ,
find
let me
those
help
two.
you.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Hey.
You're thin. It's okay. Whatever. And he
Come
just sort of
here,
like
and I'll just
throws
pull his
himself like
armor.
across your shoulder.
Also,
It's like-
I'm really sorry for screaming at you before this whole thing. It's just, I don't know, I guess I have emotions.
Good. Sometimes I need to be screamed at. I'm a bit of a fuck up. Let's go find those guys.
It's then
Come
that
on,
you
big guy.
hear. It's then that you hear Clovis in your ear. Michael.
Right, Joe and I are coming to you. I'll pick up for this on the way.
We'll meet you at Nice.
Alright.
You all head over to Naya's. As you, Clovis and Ash, you two will get there prior to Michael and Joe. They're coming from a bit further away, but as you get there, You kind of open, the doors are kind of open, and as you kind of like step in, you see that the cauldron is there on the table, and Naya is sat at the table, just kind of looking at it, wide-eyed.
Chopping some onions, some carrots,
Look
and
Don't steal my arc, man. That was my idea.
Oh,
Ash kind of like, as she walks in and isn't expecting to see Feathers there, just kind of stops and I assume like Clovis would almost like walk into her before she kind of like shakes herself off.
hello, my lovelies.
Hi, I assume you know the situation then.
Bit hard to miss. Michael dropped her off and rushed off for salt.
Hi. Why
Thank you for looking after her.
does nobody have salt here? I found the Asiatica.
Oh, bless you, my dear. Thank you.
And I'll kind of take it out, and unwrap it.
Oh, you've got a lot more than I anticipated too. This'll go a long way. This should probably cure everyone over time.
There's still the main body of the plants left, so it should regrow in case anything in the future happens.
Oh, wonderful. Before you go, if you could write down where that is, and then I can head back if needed.
I made a map.
My mage hand screwed it up because my mage hand was holding it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know this is probably the most inappropriate time, but that thing you asked me to do before you left, I finished. It wasn't too hard, actually. It was good to actually have some of the base material to work with, and I kind of had to then deconstruct it backwards. It was tough, but I did it.
You're a talented individual. There are many that we've met on our journey who were unable to do just that, so...
Thank you. I wish I could do more. Here, and she... do you want... here, and she just kind of hands it over to one of you, and you now have the recipe for the bountiful brew.
Mmm!
Recipe
Delish.
unlocked.
Every cloud.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Thank you. That will surely come in handy, and I hope you're able to recreate it and produce some yourself for the people of the Glen. Our
Well-
friends should be shortly.
I did make myself a copy of it. Old alchemist trait.
Well, if Lord Sandrin and Lady Bula are to be believed, it could be quite a lucrative skill you have in the coming.
Oh, why so?
There are forces at play in the world outside of this forest, and it requires us to come together, so the borders of the Glen of Avalon will be opened
Oh,
to
Ah.
visitors and to trade.
that'd be interesting. I might actually be able to get some more rarer ingredients more readily.
I would expect so.
And I
We'll
can
just
farm off a load of shit on people and get paid for it.
exactly exploit them for what they've got.
People in cities
Ooh.
love all this kind of shit.
Exploitation is a harsh word,
Oh,
but I do like it.
but thank you. There we go.
I do like it.
If you're ever looking for a franchise in the city, do let me know.
If I ever venture out, I can't ever see myself in the big city. This is much more my speed.
This
Feathers.
isn't the time to be having
Feathers.
business
Beyond the
discussions.
grave.
Yeah, Feathers. You can put 100 gold coins on your character sheet.
Someone give money to the dead person.
Yeah. Every cloud.
You've got 100 gold.
Well, that's going in. That's going in the pot for the rest of the guys, isn't it? Anyway,
yeah, please.
Perhaps
please,
we should
need
just
it.
check. Perhaps we should check Feathers to see if she has any money on her so we can buy this salt.
She has like 14k at this point.
I apologize. This isn't the time to be talking about business. I'm trying to distract myself.
I understand.
The applied mind rarely wanders to things that are not worth thinking about.
I understand. You know, you've done a great thing for this forest and for the people here in Alavan, and if you were to ask it, sure that we could do a nice ceremony and plant a tree in her name where she lay.
She shan't be laying for long.
Very well.
Indeed.
So, and at this point, Jove and Michael, you will have got there at this point. Ah, you're all here. Well, if you wish, you can stay here and rest a while if that's what you'd like.
We need to figure out where we're going. Jove, Michael, we've been granted passage to a destination that we wish to travel to. Similar way that we came to this place. They'll also be on call for us if we require the Kirikator going forward for the battle, but we now have a choice. Do we go on to Waterdeep, where there will likely be salt aplenty, but we risk confronting the cult once more, or do we maybe try and find other allies who may also have what we seek?
Well, from my perspective, I can't say I've left too many cities with many allies that I'd quite like to go back and revisit. Waterdeep, however, is a very large city and one with anything anyone could ever hope for available to you. I think salt would be remarkably easy to acquire there, and also will put us back where we were supposed to be.
True.
I have family in Waterdeep. I know enough people to get us by should we get there. Salt will be fine to find.
I know an alchemist in Waterdeep if we require that knowledge.
Well, can I interject here? As Killian kind of like walks up to the door.
Hello?
I'm worried for a minute you were about to get your head cut off or something.
No, just something I had to take care of. I think I might know a place. Place where you could... I nearly said the wrong thing without thinking.
Speak freely.
It would have been out of turn and not meant the way I meant. Anyway, we could potentially kill two birds with one stone, is what I was gonna say, but I didn't. Look, there are those that we are allied with. People that we could readily go and ask for help. People that I think even would be welcoming of us if we turned up at the door.
Do you think they have 200 pounds of salt?
I don't know. I don't know if they do, but if you're looking for allies and potentially they might be able to help, then it's worth a shot, right? Or
Speak then. Who are they?
Well, you met one of them.
I look over at Ash.
I thought you were going to say that.
Did
The
we
monastery. He's on about the
Oh.
monastery.
Look, I've been there before. They seem quite nice, welcoming. They often try to help those that are in need. That's the whole point of them.
I mean, they are and they would, but I don't... I mean, the nearest town to the High Forest is Yartar, which is just tiny, and there's hardly anything. I don't know. It's an industrial town. I doubt they'll have the salt we need, is the thing. I know we need allies, but we need her back.
Did your monastery have clerics?
There were people who could heal. I didn't really know at the time who was a cleric and who was what. There might be.
I heard passing through many years ago that some healers can bring people back, but they need diamonds to do so. They are rarer, but what's more rare? Trying to gather 200 pounds of salt from an entire city, or try to find a diamond.
I think we have an option for bringing feathers back, and it's probably a lot more cost effective than going out and buying diamonds and trying to hire holy people.
I know a holy person. Phalanx.
How he didn't seem quite holy enough, if you'll pardon my
I mean,
judgment.
he's been a cleric of Morden for since I've known him.
Morden?
Morden, god of the forge. I don't know.
They are very principled, these gods. It's part of the reason why I don't like them. I'm just wondering if a god like Morden. I don't know. I know Waterdeep. I know you can buy fucking anything there. And we seem to have some allies. It's a more sure thing, and I don't know. Perhaps if we went there and then to Waterdeep, travelled southwards, we might meet up with the caravan along the way, but it won't give us much of an opportunity to join them again or infiltrate them.
No.
The way we left things, they're likely wary of outsiders now.
However, the High Forest, I'm just conscious about us walking through a tree into a city with a dead bird in a cauldron.
Have you been to Waterdeep?
That's true. It's relatively close to the High Forest as well, so we could do both potentially.
Yeah, you said Yaratar.
Aye.
It's just north of Trebor, isn't it?
I can't remember.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
I
Aye.
Is
visited
that
there.
north or south of High Forest?
Do I remember from having visited Trebor? Did I hear anything about Yaratar, about what kind of town it is? Was
So
Trebor very...
the Tribor Trail is very much a trail. It was only so the Tribor Trail was formed after the initial fall of Neverwinter, when the volcano and the big war that happened there. Then the Tribor Trail, such as small towns like Phandalin and Iritar and places like that, started cropping up. Now, Iritar was one of the first and more established towns. It is a town, it's not a city, as far as I'm aware.
It's a town. Yeah, it's an industrial town.
Yeah, but it is more about logging and that sort of shit. There's not many. There are a couple of mines dotted around it, but to try and bank on one of them being a salt mine is kind of hoping, really.
And look, 200 pounds of salt is a lot of salt. And look, I prefer a sure thing. An old friend once told me that any outcome is best when it's predetermined. We don't know what the outcome would be if we went to the monastery. Again, monks not famous for their seasoned food. Whereas Waterdeep, I would say probably actually is. Not as much as Spur, but it's not bad.
Okay. Maybe we do that then.
I don't want to make decisions for anyone else. I would just feel more comfortable with a sure thing. You know more about these people and this place than we do. Are they well provisioned?
Dan, in my time there, was the food seasoned? Not that I was very picky at the time.
Yeah, and
Yes.
you know this place to be very well provisioned. You know that individuals
It's not cut off.
No, and you know that there's certain individuals that travel to and from other places from the monastery for
Yeah.
that reason. You even know one of them by name.
Yeah.
And you know full well that they spend most of their days traveling to do things like that, where they go and they get vast amounts of grain and things, so that they are very well provisioned.
When I was there, it was almost as though they were stocking up for something. I think they may have the provisions we need. And I also... And she kind of like stops and you can see like a memory struck her. I think they may be playing a part in what's to come too. Not on the side of evil, don't panic. But I saw something years ago, and I think maybe this could be it. The cults. These dragons. Us. I don't know. I think they might have what we need, and it would be a good stop for allies. It's not certain. I completely understand what you're saying about Waterdeep. It would be quite easy to acquire what we need there. Jove, Michael, what do you think?
Bear in mind, I don't know how any of this works, so if I can have someone who maybe knows a little bit more about raising people from the dead rather than, my only experience is on further side of this. And, well, I've some guidance might
Michael,
be
where were you
nice.
raised? Not as in brought up, raised from the ground. Where?
About 2 weeks. About 1 week ride and 1 week's foot trekking into the high forest. I came out of I think I came out of a clearing. Headed south, I reached Loudwater. That's actually where I got my name. Michael. So I know the south end, but
If you were raised in the high forest, maybe feathers can be too. I don't know how any of this works.
Bovis just kind of turns and looks at Jove, looks
Yeah.
up at him to catch his eye.
While you've all been talking, Jove sort of took a cross leg to the floor, and he's currently just sort of holding one of Feathers' hands, just sort of stroking the back of it with his thumb, looking into the cauldron as you're all just sort of discussing these things. And as you all sort of stop, and he sort of feels the silence come down, and he's like, "Do you think she wants to come back?" Like, I know we like Feathers a lot, even me. I know I was never her biggest, cheer person, but What if she's happier where she is? We'd be bringing her back into this, into war, into death, into potentially the same kind of demise again. All because we miss her. Like, I don't get me wrong. I understand what we're trying to do, but what if she's happier where she is? I know I have a place to go when I die.
Should we not give her the choice, though? Open up
Should
the
we not take away her choice of being able to stay where she is?
I don't think it would.
Feathers makes a lot of mistakes, but she's always very quick to do everything she can to put them right.
It's not about putting mistakes right. I'm just saying,
Yes, it is.
if wherever she is happy and better, like Celestia, where all those people were just walking around unaware, whatever. If she has a place like that and we rip her from it to bring her back into this, is she going to appreciate it? Is she going to be happy about it?
There's a lot of places I would very much like to be other than here that it would take more than 200 pounds of salt to rip me away from. But we're on a purpose.
Let me place it like this. I don't assume to know where Feathers is currently, but if she is even closely to where I was, something tells me she would want to come back.
I'm not
If
saying
not, we can kill her again.
I don't think that's how it works.
Oh my god!
Come on, we're doing this.
All right.
He's our friend.
He sort of puts
He's
the
our
hand
ally.
down gently and looks down a bit and goes, then I think we should go to the monastery as well.
All right.
What is it you said? 2 birds, 1 stone?
That was very inappropriate, and I kind of wish I didn't, but
I'll
yeah, I
pick
did.
out a stone
And
from my bag.
as he's kind of saying that, he's kind of like looking at the floor, not catching eye contact. But all of you look up, and Naya's just fucking staring him out. Like,
It's a good plan.
look, you guys need allies. Much as I vouch for the force of the Kirikator, seeing what these monks can do.
So have we.
I haven't seen shit. She's too fast, to be honest.
And I do know they have.
We've seen
they-
the aftermath of what they can do. Everything before that is just kind of a blur.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it then. But I have something to ask all of you. Might not be the right time, but if you will, and if it's okay with you all, I'd like to come with you. I spent most of my life here in this forest. I think when I met you, that's the furthest I'd ever ventured out of here, and I have to say, it's a wide old world, and I have only seen a very small portion of it. You're capable warriors, and I think, at least maybe until we get back to Trelara, I'd like to join you, if you'll have me.
You're a free
It'd be
man.
weird if you
Killian.
weren't here at this point.
You're a free man. You can go where you wish.
Just know that, and she kind of looks to Feathers, this life doesn't come without its consequences.
Yeah, I know, but I owe this one a debt. Until it's paid, you're not getting rid of me.
And welcome to the team.
It's Killian, right?
Really?
I think that actually is the first time he said your name right.
Yeah. That was nice.
Davis is visibly chuckling.
Kind of made me feel all warm inside. Thanks, Joe.
It means I like you.
Now, as our intern, go and tell Lady Bula and or something that will be along shortly.
Oh no! I'm not doing that anymore. You want something done? Do it yourself.
He's already part of the team.
Um,
I'm not in their good graces right now.
what did you do?
Oh, I'm leaving. I told them that I was
Oh.
leaving with you, and they weren't best pleased.
I think Lady Bula will understand.
Wait,
Lysandra,
wait a
not so
second.
sure.
You told them you were leaving before you actually asked us if you could come with.
I like it.
You
Yeah. Kind of thought that you'd
had
be
we
okay
said
with it.
no, you would have been fucked.
Oh,
were
I'd have just
listening.
probably followed you around anyway.
You were listening.
Mike, we pick up wanderers on the road, you know. It's just what we do. Someone comes and stares at you for a while, we take him with us.
You were listening back in the ruins when I said it's better to ask for forgiveness than
Forgiveness than permission. Yeah.
It always works.
Well,
Very well.
I'll keep that in mind.
is
Not
there
me.
any business that you guys need to take care of here?
Can
Or
I
should we-
ask a really sensitive question? How long is she okay like this for? Without the salt?
Are you asking Killian?
I'm asking the room.
Oh.
Including Naya.
I don't know. Personally, I don't know. Well, if I had to guess, probably not long. You've got a few days at best. Once the whole decaying starts, that's really when it's kind of gone.
Naya, I really appreciate you and everything you've done. But some tact. And then she kind of looks to Killian. And you too. Kill two birds with one stone.
And it was a dragon, it wasn't a stone, but I get it. And he kind of like turns and walks out the room.
Well,
Are
I
we
think-
all okay to go now?
I see no reason to delay.
I don't know, Feathers, do you want to do anything?
Twitch.
Do you want to just...
Do you think if we shot
Anything you were
her
hoping
head
to
off,
do
she
here,
would
or-
start running again?
It's about
Just
pee?
because,
Any
just
like
because I
backstory,
know-
side quest stuff that you wanted to
Just
do?
because I know Joe, so Dan doesn't have the Twitch chat open, you have 100 gold by Dirty Rollers, I believe it was. Yeah, Dirty
First
Rollers
time in
gave you
months.
100 gold.
Do you,
Hey!
I
Given
think
anyone
this is
gold
actually
apart
the
from-
first time that Job's ever been given anything other than inspiration. You've been given gold.
I know, it's a fucking
It's
miracle.
mainly Natalie,
Amazing.
Natalie and I who get the gold.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
give it...
I haven't got.
Yeah.
All I get is inspiration as well.
I was going to say, give it a few days and you'll be fucking loaded.
I've built a character that was meant to be like scamming people out of money all the time, and I've got 17 gold.
Oh, you'd be so annoyed if you saw how much I had.
Yeah,
I didn't
mate.
care about it.
So I don't want to know.
Throw
I
it
also
out
got
there.
party funds. Ayo.
Heyo. Do you?
Yeah,
So,
I'm rich.
Might want to check that.
as you guys say your farewells, Naya gives you a big hug, Ashar, and gives you all hugs and wishes you well on the road. Killian leads you back towards the large tree. Is there anything anybody would like to do at this point?
Just before we leave Naya, as she hugs me, I'm just gonna say that. Look, I know I'm not supposed to be here,
No.
but you have to agree with me that she is.
People are where they need to be, Michael. And if you're here for a reason. Just don't let that reason be something terrible, right?
Right.
Um,
Also, when you go to look for these herbs again in the future,
Yeah?
if you see a blue phoenix,
Right?
tell them that Michael says hello.
That's the weirdest thing anybody's said to me in a while, but sure.
The crystal worked.
Oh, good. Did you get everything you needed?
No,
Excellent.
not everything.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Maybe you were right.
Tangled web of the mind is often the most complex thing in the world.
Yeah. And mine seems to be as tangled as a cat's fur ball currently.
It's a weird analogy, but I'll go with it. Sure.
Close I could get.
Well, look, good luck with everything, and just know that no matter what happened in the past, it's the future that's not set. And you can do everything you want to change it.
Right. Thanks, Naya.
Goodbye, all.
Take care.
Bye!
Bye.
As you
Bye,
all
Noah.
are walking towards the tree, Ash, in your head, you
Yes?
hear, Ashy,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I have to say, my arse is pummeled after riding on this cart for a few days. You're coming back, right? Listen, I haven't got long. I've been told I've got to keep this short, but we're just getting into Daggerford now. We've been here a day. There's been some weird movement here over the last 24 hours. One quite suspicious individual has joined the crew of miscreants. Bald-headed, tattoo all over its head. Tried to make it as if he was just bartering passage on, but never saw any exchange of coin. Anyway, hope you're well. See you soon. Also, did I ever tell you about that time that... And that's it.
Way more than 25 words.
I know.
Fifi, you absolute fucker. Also, be careful saying that your ass is ruined. Like, people are gonna take that the wrong way. Okay, keep an eye on that individual. We're heading to the High Forest first, and then we will rejoin you in Waterdeep. I've missed you. Speak to you soon.
Also, we could have really used that message about 8 hours ago.
As you guys approach and enter into the main tree, Lady Bula and Lord Sandrin are stood there. Ah, the heroes of Alovan. Now that you're all here, I wish to convey my utmost gratitude for everything that you've done. Our people owe you a great debt. And as I said before, should you call on us, we will answer. I bestow on you this horn. Only I can hear it call. Only use it when you wish for us to come. And he hands over this intricate ivory horn that's it's embezzled with and kind of has lots of unique leaf pattern and vine pattern over the ivory horn, and hands it over to one of you. Children. Utter fucking children. Unbelievable. I said the word ivory horn and you've cracked up.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, carry on.
Lady
Or
Blue.
like 10 times.
I know, it's fine. And I, for one, would like to thank all of you as well. I told Clovis and Ash here that I wish to bestow on you all a gift. Could you all approach and hold out your arms?
I'll step forward first and drop to my knees and hold my arms out.
As you step forward, she steps down from the pedestal that she's on and comes to your height. And you notice that she's quite tall, around 6'5", rather slender, really tall. Takes hold of your hand and places one of her hands on your arm. Thank you, from all of us here at the Glade of Alovan.
You're welcome, Mummy. I mean, Mummy.
And she takes her hand off your arm, and you see that where her hand was, there is a small tattoo on your arm.
Ooh, I'm collecting those.
Of a tree, circular tattoo, kind of like an Yggdrasil tree of life style tattoo on your arm. And she goes to each one of you, placing her hand on your arm and gifting you all with this tattoo. She also walks over to Feathers and does the same thing to Feathers. So I know it's a bit weird, but gives Feathers the same tattoo. On your character sheets, you can all add the Alovan tattoo.
Ooh.
Add.
May this protect you from here on out.
You honor us, Lady Bula.
Now, as we discussed, you wished to go somewhere, and we agreed to open a portal there. Tell me, where is it you wish to travel?
We wish to go to the Order of the Ethereal Earth.
Ah, the High Forest.
Aye.
Very well. May the 6 of you journey henceforth, and when you need us, we will be there. We hail you all as the heroes of Arovan, and you are welcome here from now until the end of time, should any of you wish to call. You will always have a place here among our people. Now, it is with a heavy heart that we must wish you, Killian, a farewell. But we appreciate that this is a choice of your own making. But you know the consequence of that choice. I do. But it was the right one to make. Very well. And she steps to the side of the great tree and places her hands on it. And a portal appears. We wish you all the luck in the world, friends. Thank you once again, and we wish you all the luck in the world.
When next we meet, we may need it.
Farewell for now. And it is just for now. For we shall see each other again. And as you all step through the portal, we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to have a quick break now.
Little break.
No break.
We're going to have 10-15 minutes. Guys, I see that we have quite a few people in chat. Thank you so much for being here so far. We're going to take a quick 15-minute break. Probably come back at around 10 to. So guys at home, get yourselves a drink, get yourselves some food, do what you need to do, and we'll be back very shortly. We'll see you soon.
Don't go nowhere.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Thank you to everyone that followed and subbed during the break as well. That was unreal. Thanks so much. Right, let's kick in. So, you guys step through the portal, and as you step through the portal, you're met with an immediate climate change as you step out of this tree. Ash, you would immediately recognize the tree you've stepped out of. Immediately. Like, as soon as you step out and see your surroundings, you know where you are. You step out of this massive oak tree, and it's huge. It's bigger than the one at the Glen of Alavan. It's massive. You step out of the tree, and the tree itself is, again, I'd say double the size of the one in the Glen of Alavan. And on the branches, the low-hanging branches, there are ribbons that have been attached to the branches that hang and dangle down of the lower branches as all 6 of you step out into this. It's kind of got a natural clearing around this big tree anyway, but this is the most predominant and biggest tree that no doubt any of you have seen before, apart from Ash. You've seen it before.
Ash kind of puts a hand on it. Hi there, old friend.
Hello. No, it doesn't speak.
Oh, Ash, how are you doing?
Right.
Look at Al. Okay, it's a little bit of a trek to the monastery from here, but not too far.
Is there anyone that you know here that we can seek out?
Vincis.
Come again?
Vincis, my old mentor. Or Terry, I think he's back here too. But Vincis is more of a senior figure.
Let's not delay.
No.
For something that you all recognise, there is a visible difference to the hue that is around from the forest that you were just in, where it was a lighter shades of green, to the darker green colours of the high forest. Most of the trees here have moss growing up the trunks of the trees. It's a deep set green throughout. There's very little in way of blight, for one. But in terms of pathways, they are they're not naturally, they're not like formed pathways that anyone's kind of built into here. They are more pathways that have been well trodden. And Ash starts heading and pointing you in the right direction. You soon get onto one of these paths through the thicket and through the trees.
Cool. Just keep going. Single-minded focus.
Yeah? Nobody wants to do anything at this point. Okay. I will say that as you step out, I will say you have leveled up. However, we will do, if you know what you're doing already, you can quickly do that now. If not, you can wait till the end of the session. Whatever you guys want to do. But if you want to level up, by all means, you can level up in the meantime, if you know what you're going to do. As you are walking through, you're roughly around an hour or two away from the footsteps to the stairs to the monastery. The monastery itself is kind of set in the side of the Lost Peaks is where...
Yeah.
The side of the Lost Peaks. You guys travel from the grandfather tree for a couple of hours until you get towards the base of the Lost Peaks. The path that Ashar takes you on, you see... Eventually, you come to some steps that have been carved out of the natural rock as they start climbing up the side of the Lost Peak Mountains. It's another, what would you say, Ash? Another hour or so with these steps. It's not an easy trek. It's a climb, and it is quite windy and lots of steps. But you eventually come out after climbing for an hour up the side of this mountain to a plateau, and as you get towards the plateau of where it naturally kind of flattens, you see there is this archway that's been made of 2 stone pillars and a wooden beam across that kind of form the entrance to where you're heading. As you step through, Ashar would be the first to step through. As all of you step past that point, immediately you kind of enter through this invisible magic field, and as you step through, immediately up to your right-hand side, set in to the rock face that was not visible until stepping through the precipice of this archway, you see a beautiful building and giant monastery that's set into the rock face of the Lost Peaks.
So, this is your home, then?
Home. Loose, figurative, relative term. But for a time, that's where I lived.
Given what you've told me, you seem fairly at ease. Was it not a sour parting last time you left?
No. This is the one place that wasn't a sour parting. I've been many places, probably not as many as you, but this is the one place that encouraged my departure. Feeded, anyway. Speaking of, where's that old fucker? And I kind of proceed to guide us towards the entrance.
Hey. Hey. 1 second. Yeah, so you have all leveled up. Just on that question, Evan. You all have leveled up, but you do not gain the abilities until you take a long rest. So
Okay.
you don't get the spell slots, don't get the abilities, don't get the spells. You have leveled up though.
Okay.
So once you had a long rest, you gain everything, but until then, you don't get any of it.
They sleep!
As you continue up and take your friends along the path, Ashard, you all see that there is looking at the actual building in itself, there is a large, kind of, as I say, built into the rock face itself, but kind of sticking out with this huge staircase that leads up towards the main entrance of this courtyard. The courtyard itself has high stone walls around it, and beyond that, kind of the building itself is, some parts seem to be within the rock face itself, others kind of sticking a jut from it. There are a couple of large towers, one very large building, and a few kind of lower, shorter outbuildings that are all attached to one main building. As you start making your way up there, Ash, you see a very familiar sight at the gate, and the 2 standing guard. You know this duty well, you've had to do it many times. You see 2, and the rest of you see 2 individuals as you walk up the steps towards the main gate. They are on either side of the stairs, kind of pointing diagonally down towards the stairs, sat on a small cushion, cross-legged, cross-armed, perfectly still, looking down towards you all.
Can I take the blue phoenix feather with my mage hand? Just bring it forwards and just tickle one of their noses?
Okay, you can. And as you do and you tickle them, you see that their face go red and they're kind of like the strain.
I'm in there, buddy. You got this.
And they are unyielding and just kind of not moving at all.
Ash wet Willie's one.
Horrible people. And as you do, the kind of...
We've come looking for allies.
Yeah. Kind of go, and as you kind of put your finger in your mouth, wet it, and as it goes towards the ear, the other one just kind of grabs your hand, pushes it away, and then goes back and just kind of looks towards you and scowls.
It's all part of your training. All right, can we come in?
They don't say anything,
and
and they don't say anything, but the door just opens ever so slightly.
They're way better at that than I was. I sucked.
Yes, I see where you learnt your patience and tact.
Ah, absolutely.
As you walk
Unless it's
through,
irony.
as you walk through the main gate in the main courtyard, some 10-15 feet away from the door, you see a large tortoise. And an old, long-bearded man sat atop of it, cross-legged, with his arms, one of his arms on his legs, holding a staff, looking towards the door.
I am sprinting up. I'm just grabbing him and just like picking him off the tortoise into a hug.
Now then, just a moment. Just watch. Oh, hello, Ashy.
Hi, V.
Can I ask a question, DM?
Yes.
Do I recognize the voice?
You do not.
Okay.
That's just my go-to old man voice, but it is a
Yeah.
but it is.
Let's look it out, let's look it out.
Fucking ask.
But no, it's not familiar to what you think.
Oh, Ashy, well, hello.
Sorry.
Hello, and... Oh, you've brought friends.
I have. I've also brought a friend in need of help.
Well, aren't everybody that walks through our doors in need of help in some way or not? Well,
Well, she's not exactly walking or flying.
It's healing of the mind that she might need.
I do not mean to interrupt this touching reunion.
Princess Clovis.
Hello.
Hello. We have come in search of aid, as Ashar has explained. We have a way of healing our friend, but we require quite a large amount of salt. We'd be happy to pay. We'd be happy to pay for it.
Oh, good. Yes, salt can be quite expensive, don't you know?
B.
Come in. Let's see what we can do with you all. Oh, you
Appreciate
there.
and he kind of like darts a look towards you, Jove.
You come carrying more than baggage, I see. Don't worry. This is a place of total unburdenment. Let's...
You
Funny enough.
put your mic down, please.
Sort of look at it like unsure what he means by baggage. So I can put her down. You're okay with okay. He sort of like unhooks feathers the
No.
cauldron. Continue.
No. He meant more
Trauma.
trauma. We need to. He'll do this. We still need to bring her in.
Follow me. Don't worry. Try to keep up. Come on, Nelly.
And he kind of like taps the shell of the tortoise, and the tortoise just kind of da-dum, 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 da-da-da-da.
I thought the tortoise was a turtle. I thought it was a person.
No,
I didn't
no,
realize
no,
that.
it is just a
Right,
giant-
right,
it's just a-
right.
This dude just rocks around on a giant tortoise, and it
I
just...
thought it was just like Oogway and some guy. I was like, okay, cool. So we're going Kung Fu Panda.
No.
no.
It's actual tortoise.
It's just it's an
Right.
old human dude with a long white beard, and he's sat on the back of
The turtle.
a giant
Oh, it's
tortoise,
Master Roshi. All right.
and he's just kind of...
Come on, Nelly.
And he just taps on the top of the shell, and the tortoise just kind of lumbers round and starts walking about.
Now, Ash. Ashy, you've been gone some time.
I know. I have.
Have you been keeping up with your training?
I've had more real-world applications.
This won't do. Very well. We'll start drills in the morning.
No. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Fuck you.
Whoa, there's no need for that.
This is
Joe
very
just leans
strange.
into Clovis and just goes, "Why are we here again?"
I don't know, but this is not like any monastery I've ever heard of.
Come in.
turtle.
Come on. Let's go find somewhere to rest your weary feet.
We need salt.
Yes, I know. You said.
All right. I was just checking you hadn't forgotten in your old age.
That's double drills.
No. I'm not doing them.
Yes, you will.
No, I'm not.
As-
Part...
Yes, you are.
As they
Yes, you
sort of
are.
go bickering off into the... I'll just hang back to Joe for a second. I'll just say, how are you holding up?
I don't know. It's. He sort of turns away, and like you can sort of feel him sort of like trying to gesticulate what he's trying to say and sort of try and get to where he wants to be. And it's sort of putting feathers back over his shoulder and grumbling a little. He's like, I should have listened to you. I'm sorry that I messed up the plan when we were in the forest. I wasn't
didn't mess
careful.
up. You didn't mess up anything.
I did.
Plans sometimes go awry.
Still, I should have been looking where I was going. I alerted it before we could do anything. It knew where I was. I fucked up. And now Feathers is dead.
You mustn't shoulder blame nor cast it around. No one's to blame, Jove. We had a plan. It sort of worked. Many plans do sort of work. Very few plans survive contact with the enemy. You did everything you could. So did she. And so are we now. Look,
That's just it, though. I don't feel like I am doing everything I can be. It's getting worse, Clovis. The more we do this, the further we go. The harder it is for me to... I don't know. If that old dude looked at me and saw problems, then I guess he's right. But I don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore with myself. I can't control it. It hurts when I feel these things. It's like actual pain sometimes. I don't think anyone ever really understands what I mean when I say I feel these things. It goes beyond just being angry. It's like fire in my blood, as my name sake suggests.
I think I am beginning to understand. Nevertheless, we've come a long way since Greenest, and we have a long way to go. And so does she.
So,
Heavens forbid, she leaves the two of us alone together.
I think wherever she is, if she saw that, she'd be laughing pretty much nonstop, watching us trying to get on.
We get on, Jove.
I know. I just feel like sometimes I'm going the wrong way as opposed to the rest of you. You're growing, you're doing stuff, but I'm sinking worse into whatever this is. It's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to come here. I asked Ash once to maybe help me do this, but I don't think it's for her to do. I think I need to be here now and learn control.
Control is certainly a virtue worth learning.
I just want to be better for you guys, okay? I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm becoming, and I can feel it. And if Feathers was here, she'd probably agree that I'm not being helpful or anything you need. So
It's a surprising thing to hear from someone who mere hours ago I saw cut the head off a dragon.
that's
but-
easy.
I understand what you're trying to say. We're with you.
I know. I want to be with you too, properly. Like, we
Hold
were
on,
all the way
I've
back in
got
Greenland.
music for
Sorry.
this. I've got music for this.
No.
I'm joking.
Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. Sorry.
Na-na-na-na-na.
If
Where
I
was
sing
I?
one more line, we're gonna get TMCA'd.
Well, I want that as well. We all do. As will Feathers. I'm sure she'll tell you that shortly.
Do you really think it's a good idea to bring her back?
Yes. I think it's the only option we have.
I mean, there's the option to not. All I'm saying is I have a place that I think I go to when I die that is essentially just a big open field with meat and fighting and I think sex, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I was about to say that sounds ghastly, but
Oh no, it's quite
Even-
nice.
and if you went there with work still to do, with the tasks we have been set incomplete, you think I would let you remain there? Do you think I
don't
do
know.
not wish to go to lavish taverns and royal courts again? Is there not somewhere better that all of us could be?
But it's not better that it's not alive better. It's dead better. It's whatever is in you, the soul, whatever, moving on to peace and not having to deal with this, pulling her back into the fight, making her suffer through all this again.
There is a
Because
time.
we need her. We miss her.
There is a time for peace, and there is a time to fight.
There's also a
She'll
time
make
to
that
die.
decision. So she'll make that decision herself. I'm not about to let her fall on my watch. It's a virtue I learned from you.
Oh, now you learn something from me. All
I've
right.
been learning from you since we met, Jeff.
Yeah, me too. I
It's
finished
part
a
of the
book
reason why
because
I'm
of you.
here. I have friends because of you.
Yeah, me
Come
too.
on.
All right, let's go
Let's
find
stop
that
this
old guy
moaning about-
before they. I don't know. She punches him. She has a thing with old people and hitting them. So I don't think we should be with her. She should be with him for very long.
I think between you can find a balance. You seem to have far too much of an affinity for old people for my liking.
Gotta trust your elders, man.
If you'd have met some of my elders, you wouldn't be so trusting.
As you guys are continuing walking, at one point, all of you spot, and it's very clear to see that this place is almost immaculately clean. Like, it's pristinely kept. It's very clean. And as you get towards the door, Vincis turns to you, Michael, and goes,
You there? Pick that brush up, if you don't mind.
What brush?
he kind of like points over, and there's like a straw brush that's like leant up against one of the walls.
Okay, sure. Why
And
is he doing this, Ash?
if you don't mind, hand it to Ash.
No, do not hand it to me.
There you go.
No,
You know what to do.
I'm not doing it. I'm here for a favor.
Well, something gained, something given.
Why am I having flashbacks to that old guy?
And then
you
as
made when I
you're
was a
kind of
goblin?
stood there thinking about it, he goes,
What was it again that you needed? A place to stay, some food, maybe. Solace from the
You
world.
are the one who took me in. And she just like aggressively starts sweeping.
Follow me, follow me. Well, catch up when you're done, Ash. Onwards, Nelly.
And like taps the tortoise again as it just continues to like rock up these like 3 stairs towards the main door.
I'm just gonna take out the stones in my bag, the small pebbles that I have, and just drop them on the floor as I go.
Clovis kind of walks up about 30 seconds later, following Ben, and having missed this little thing, just sees Ash sweeping. He just looks at her, looks at the broom, looks at her again, and just carries on walking and following the others. Just like, okay.
As Jove sees the aggression, sort of like stops. Like, why are you sweeping the floor?
She has other priorities. Shut them down.
I don't know. Fuck this, and throws the broom on the ground and follows Joe.
As you get to the main door, and it's quite a large door, around 20 feet tall, about 15 feet wide. The tortoise kind of puts its head on the door and just walks and like the doors open. One thing that you have noticed is the courtyard at that point, there were a few individuals throughout the courtyard all wearing kind of traditional monk garbs, so hand wraps, wraps up the shins, kind of cloth clothing. Some some of the monks there had no tops on, so just kind of bare chested but with hand wraps. Dotted throughout the courtyard that you just walked through there are multiple training dummies. On one side towards the as you're walking up on the left hand side, sort of tucked away towards the back, there's a like a sand zen garden that's got like a couple of little statues in it and patterns that have been raked into it. Towards the right hand side, there is a kind of like a small fountain, very, very small, only kind of trickling water in, kind of built into the side of the building, with a couple of like jugs and stuff that are sat next to it. As you walk through the main entrance, you see that you enter into this large kind of open, large, tall ceilinged kind of narrow hallway that kind of goes for around 15 feet as you guys start going through into the monastery.
Well, I suppose you're gonna be wanting to stay here for a while.
What's happening?
You turned
I
into
don't
a
know.
prospector.
I don't know.
Just went so solid for a second there.
I don't know.
Yeehaw!
Well, let me tell you something, folks.
Hell.
There's gold in them heels.
Ah,
I think, sir, that we might just acquire the soul to maybe stay the night, if possible.
Well, I think that you'll be staying here for maybe a day or so more than that.
Why?
I got work to do with this one here.
and he kind of like nods his head over towards Jove.
Why do you keep looking at me, man? What do you mean you got work to do with me?
Well, your aura's all over the place.
You cannot just keep... Jove, be careful, because he said this to me, and I was here for 5 years.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna...
but you can grow arms out your sides now, so if I can do that from coming in, then sure, yeah. I want more arms.
I don't think we have 5 years, Joe.
That also wasn't here. Yes, that is an interesting new development, V.
What?
Oh.
You got 4 arms?
I have the option to have 4 arms. Aye.
Oh my. Well, you can stay here for a couple of days if you'd like. That's fine with me. But you will pitch your weight. No freeloaders. If you're just here for a bed and to eat our food, then you're gonna help around.
Sure. Okay.
Now, you needed some salt, correct?
Aye.
Yeah, 200 pounds.
Shit, what are you doing with that much?
I'm bringing someone back from the dead.
That's some funky voodoo. I'll see what I can do. Bringing someone back to life with salt. I'd never heard so. Onward, Nelly!
Voodoo? I thought he was a monk.
I mean, he's right. It is some pretty funky voodoo. Oh, no.
The hell's
But
voodoo?
yes, it's a thing from...
A different realm.
It's a thing from a place.
way out east over the Dragon Sea.
As he kind of continues walking you through, you see that there are a couple of individuals that are sat on pews, just kind of closed eyes, head down, kind of meditating. And as you get towards the end of the corridor, Victus turns around to you, Ash, and goes,
Well, you know where to take 'em. I'll get somebody to find the salt and bring it to you, but I got some work to do first. You, big one, follow me. We got some talking to do.
Oh, sure. Okay. Bye, guys.
Okay. Feathers.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. And sort of like halfway down the corridor, like, oh, yeah, right. Okay. Turns around, and unhooks the hook from the axe and just...
Oh, you won't be needing that where you're going.
and he kind of takes the axe off you and hands it to someone.
Okay.
Hands it to you, Ash.
Any other weapons?
Yeah, okay. Hold on. And he takes the Archeon blade and sort of like chucks it over, hoists off the shield, and then places that on you as well.
Putting it all in the bag.
Yeah, it's fine.
Probably won't need this either. He lets the bronze plate armor sort of melt off of his pecs and into the little jug that it's kept in.
Cool.
And hands that over. And he's just sort of shirtless, stood in his legs.
No problem. And then Jove and Vincis go and start heading back out. Asha, you know your way around this place. You know
Yes.
where everything is. You have designed this in your head.
Yes.
So, where are you going?
I think I will first of all take them to the old kind of barracks area, which Clovis is not going to be happy about
Nope.
because it's literally mats on the ground.
Okay. So, to get to the barracks, or to get to the sleeping quarters,
Yeah.
you kind of need to go through the main temple, out to the side. Okay, so yeah, so as you guys enter through the main, the big doors that you're next to, you enter into a rather large room, pillars down all sides, on both sides, incense in the air. You see lots of kind of cushions and mats on the floor, lots of people sat meditating, a few praying, that sort of thing. What you kind of notice as you go through that door is there is a very large iron door on the right hand side of that room that is heavily guarded by 4 individuals, all with glaives and bow staffs, and just kind of stood on guard at attention with their backs towards this door.
Is this what I think it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
You are led into the main room by Ash and headed over to the left-hand side, sort of the complete opposite end of the room to where this large door is, guarded door. Down along the left-hand side of the room until you get towards the back of it and through another kind of open archway door. Down a small corridor, and to the right where Ash takes you to the sleeping quarters.
It's not much, but we won't be here long. Just part of your stuff, and Clovis, I can steal you some cushions and you can make a chaise longue.
That would be wonderful. Is there not enough room for us to just set up the tent?
I mean, would there be
There-
enough room?
I mean, there would, but are you going to take that risk?
Hold off for now.
Absolutely not. You know what comes with this. You'll all be scrubbing floors for a month.
Well, I mean, I've It's been a while, but I've slept in worse.
They have a strong sense of duty around here and paying your way in manual labor. Hence, me with the broom earlier, my call.
Hey, he told me to grab the broom.
I know,
didn't
and
want
then
to disrespect an elder.
The rocks that you decided to then throw on the floor.
That was just for me.
Yeah, I know.
This ritual that we intend to perform, that you intend to perform.
Oh, I'm
Was it-
not doing any ritual. No.
But you have
Oh, sorry.
some
What-
grasp of how this cauldron works, I assume.
Oh, the cauldron. Yeah. Yeah.
What do we need
I
to
think so.
do we need to do anything other than get you the salt?
Not really, no. I need the salt. We need to put feathers in there, and she needs to basically curate like a ham for 8 hours in the salt.
Okay.
Feathers just comes back with bitchy comments.
Right.
Right, okay.
I will
Did
say,
are you sure about this? Did something happen to you down in that cave? You want us to cure our friend?
I'm not some.
I'm joking.
okay, so this is the first time we've come across this, and I do this a bit differently. I actually got it from Dan, and I think it's the most wonderful way of doing, like, Revivify and Raise Dead and everything. So it's not just casting the spell. It takes a group skill check of individual skills. So it could be, if you're a cleric, you could be saying a prayer to do a religion check. It could be, if you're a warrior, you're giving a fierce battle cry to try and intimidate them back. And it's kind of subsequent checks from the party to see how effective the spell would be.
Right.
A little bit different way of doing it, but it's cool and it gets everyone involved.
Well,
They're close by.
Okay.
Is there anything you guys want to be doing during this time?
I just need to I'll be back. And I'm gonna go to the Zen garden.
Well,
Oh, is that where they are?
it's where they're going.
God damn it! We're gonna find a secluded place outside.
Okay, that's fine. Clovis and Michael, what are you guys going to be doing? Do you leave the bag of holding with them, Ash?
Yeah.
You do.
Speaking of cave, we do need to talk.
you saying that to me or to Ash?
Ash is gone.
I'm gone.
Do we?
Yeah.
What's going on, Michael? I don't like it when people need to talk to me.
Well, I need to talk to everyone, but
Very well, I'll be your sounding board. Your secrets are safe with me. As always.
hence why I'm telling you first and not Ash.
Shut up!
After we went down to the waterfall and met the Phoenix, we came across these large ruins. And I had a vision. Memories of my former life.
Of your former life?
Before I died. I know a little bit more, but I think it's best that probably everyone hears it.
And what did you
Like
learn?
Joe once told me, full transparency and no secrets between us is probably the best way to move forward, and maybe you can help me understand it better than I can.
Well, the last time we came across visions of our past, it begs more questions than answers, but
This definitely does.
it seems to be the way. I'll help however I can.
Good. Mainly help me in the way that try your best not to have Jove kill me.
What did you remember, Michael?
A lot.
Then start from the beginning.
I will, when everyone comes back. Probably for the best.
You tease.
As you wish. But I'm always able to lend a sensitive ear, should you need one. And an impartial one. I've been on the wrong side of things many times myself.
Good to know.
Is there
I
anything?
hope these are the kind of monks that drink.
Yeah, you're really not going to
Oh,
like
I'm
this
sure they
place.
He just kind of hands behind his head and just lays on his little mat.
Well, during this time, is there anything you want to be doing? I.e., is there any... You now have the bag of holding. Are there any things that you want to be looking at or inspecting or doing?
What's in the bag of holding?
Your goblets in there, love.
And the box full of shiny stones and the
And
hammer.
shiny
yeah.
stones and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I'll begin to check out some. I mean, I don't have an identifier or anything like that. Do
No,
you?
but I mean, I think
Yeah,
Bennings...
you do. But everyone does.
Oh, this does. You could probably...
I will do some basic sort of manual arcana kind of stuff, testing things and see what I can glean.
Okay,
Manual arcana.
no problem.
Like a
Just
mechanic.
like using
Oh, yeah,
certain
you see, yeah.
using certain cantrips to see if there's any reaction to certain elements, or if they
Yeah.
provide some kind of protection, or if
Okay.
stopping short of trying to blow them up or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're basically gonna poke the bear and see.
I'm gonna poke the bear a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. You're going to be spending a bit of time doing that, I would imagine, because these guys are going to be an hour or two at least.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
So I will come back to you with that stuff. Ash,
Okay, fine.
you go outside
Yeah.
and find a
So-
quiet space.
Yeah, just a secluded space outside and just making sure I'm alone. I sit down cross-legged. First time, not that anyone can see me, but first time in a long time. Put my hands on my knees, cast levitate on myself, and hover about 5 feet off the ground. And I
Ooh.
look down at the braces, and I look up. Stormlord, I don't know how this works, but you've asked me to be your champion. But what is a champion when she is unable to protect her friends? I've never asked or wanted for anything, but I beg you to give me some ability to protect them. I can't fight this fight without them by my side, and I could really do with your aid.
You hear
Ooh.
a very faint sound of thunder cracking on the horizon.
Oh, you are listening then. You might know, you might have heard me scream. Feathers has fallen. We're going to get her back, but I want to prevent anything like this from happening again. I want some way to help them, more than just punching
sit and spend time talking aloud or in your head to the Stormlord.
It's probably allowed because she doesn't know how prayer works.
Okay,
So
no problem. In the meantime, Jove, you and Vincis go outside, and as you're kind of like walking next to him, for the most part, up until you get towards the Zen garden, he kind of stays silent, waiting for you, like, say the first word. And when you don't, he goes, "Oh, you have a lot of troubles on your mind, I see."
I mean, who doesn't?
Well, I sense a great deal of pain in you, son. Pain and suffering. Anger. Hurt. Guilt. Am I on the right line here? I'm getting a bit old.
That sounds like how anyone who knows me would describe me.
And how would you describe yourself?
I don't know. How are you supposed to describe yourself? I'm me. What do you want?
I want to help you. And I think that no one's really put their arm around you and told you everything's going to be all right for a good while now. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not.
Yeah, I know it's not.
What you gonna
Nothing's
do
ever
about
okay.
it? No, nothing's not.
Nothing's not what?
Nothing's ever fair. This is life, son. What you gonna do about it?
What do you mean, what am I gonna do about it? Same thing I've always done. Fight it. Fight everything.
Oh, you like to fight, do you?
Well, it's my life. That's what we're doing. It's what you teach these guys to do.
Oh, I don't teach anyone to fight.
No, you do. I've seen Ash. She can punch pretty much better than anyone I've ever seen.
Oh, she was able to do that before I met her. I just told her how to do it properly.
So you do teach people to fight.
Not
Now,
really
you know.
with the fist, but with the heart. And the mind.
What?
I can tell this is gonna take a while. Do you wanna pick up that rake there, son?
Sure. Yeah.
Now.
Oh, okay. He's just like holding it.
Now,
Sort of like he's gonna hit something.
you're not gonna do any damage with it. Put it as if you're gonna plow the field. You wanna put it in the sand, and we're gonna draw some patterns.
Why?
Because it's fun. It's not
Drinking
really
is fun.
It's not really fun. Basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna center your chi. We're gonna bring you back to being in the present. Not living in the past, not looking to the future. Just living in the here and now. And you're gonna talk to me about everything that's going on in that ear noggin of yours. Don't worry. I made Ashar do the same thing. Took me 2 weeks before she opened up. That was a hard nut to crack, but once it cracked, oh, Nelly, I got some juicy bits out of her, and we fixed her right up.
Kind of fucking
As he
monastery is
says
this?
that, you see Joe just like,
I don't like that.
I ain't, you don't, I'm not giving you my juicy bits. I don't know what that means, but that's
It's
not.
a metaphor for tangible information about the person's
Oh.
inner self.
I only ever heard that used in different ways in pubs. And
Just put the
bars.
rake in the ground and stop questioning everything I'm doing.
Oh, fine. All right. Okay.
Oh,
He just
there he
aggressively
is.
draws a line.
Now, it's quite apt that you would do that. A straight line. From past to present. Straight line is never the case, is it? There's always curves and Bumps in the road. But I see the way you also did it. You're gripping that rake harder than I would choke a chicken.
I know. I shouldn't.
This is what happens when you give Dan your backstory.
Picture of an old man on a tortoise, and you've done this.
Listen, just loosen your grip up. Relax. There ain't no test here. We're just talking.
How do you rake properly then? Like, what do you do?
JJ Zimmerman, what the hell am I listening to?
Shit got derailed fast.
Asking myself the same question.
Tell me, you came here for a reason and not just to save your friends. Where are you going? What's your plan? Why have you come?
And as he's trying to talk, he's sort of like making more just lines. He's not really sure what he's supposed to be doing, but he's just raking lines into the thing and then going next to one, making more. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. I never have. I just wander to the next battle, hoping to find something, I guess.
I see that you're having trouble opening it.
And as he's talking, he takes a small, like, curved pipe out and, like, kind of puts it in his mouth, lights a little bit, takes a couple of tokes of this pipe, and he's like,
I see you're having trouble opening up. Relax, here.
and he holds the pipe out to you.
Yes!
Let's fucking go!
He sort of takes like, I've not smoked since I was 9. Yeah, I'm 10. I don't know. When I was young.
Wait, you smoked at 9?
I was very big for a 9-year-old. We orcs grow different.
Well,
Oh, it's nice. I miss smoking. Good.
now that we're on the same wavelength, and you're on my level, tell me, what do you struggle most with? You say that you're what? You don't know where you're going or what to do, but that ain't no problem for most folk. They just put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, but I can't just we have a thing to do. We're saving the world. We're trying to stop everyone from dying. Not just our friends, but everything.
How does that make you feel?
Good, I guess, but it's hard. I can't save as many people as I want to.
Like your friend
I'm
in
not-
there?
Yeah, like her. I
Couldn't save
should've-
her, huh?
No. I should have been stronger. I should have listened better. I should have done more, but I didn't. Because I get too emotional all the time.
Well, emotion's a powerful tool. But it is just that, it's a tool. It can be used for you, and others can be used against them. That is called a manipulation.
Yeah.
But I sense
I-
that it's not others' emotions that you struggle with, it's your own.
I mean, it's others who struggle with me, it feels like. It always has been. I don't...
Why, you cry a lot?
No. Not as much as I used to. And even if I do, it's usually out of anger. It's orc life. It's hard to explain. You have to feel everything to
Well,
make room to feel more.
That's just dumb thinking. Everybody feels everything. That's what feelings are. It's how you choose to react to them. That's the very nature of feeling. And you can choose to not feel anything at all when it creeps up. It's just a choice. It's in your hands.
Yeah, but that's stupid, not feeling at all. Why would you
No.
choose not to feel?
No, you feel it, but then you just choose not to feel it. You just choose to bury it way down deep. It's a choice.
No,
You've always got a choice. It's about what you want to do with the emotion that boils up inside you. You can choose to let it overcome you, and then you start gripping hold of rakes and throwing it round in the sand all frumpy-like. Or you can choose to just let it subside. It's a choice.
But like you can sort of see the frustration in his things because like there's a big zigzag as he sort of what he said stupidly like raked it around and then sort of pulled it back in. There's like massive sort of angle in it. And but I was always told that keeping anything down poisons the soul. It makes you sick because you refuse to deal with everything as it comes. So you can't move on because you choose not to deal with it now. Why would I hold back? Why should I hold back?
Well, you haven't been holding back so far, huh?
No,
How's that been working out for you? You said that it's all about other people and the way they don't like the way you are.
I mean, you invited me here. I'm just doing what you told me to do.
You always do what you're told to do?
Yeah. Because how else do you know what to do?
Well, in that respect, you're a lot better than Asha. She never did a damn word I said for the first 3 months.
I mean, she doesn't now. It's not changed.
No, but she has. You should have seen her when she first got here, all tense and uppity, and oh, the world is out to get me. And there's nothing I can do, and I'm so angry I'm going to destroy everything I touch, and I'm going to punch everything as hard as I can until it submits, and then eventually she understood that it's just a choice about who you can hit and who not to hit. You know how I taught her to do that?
Oh.
I got her to sit down and stay there for a while in her own stupid head. And eventually, when she came out the other side of that stupid head, she could see straight. But it took a long time. She was here for a while. And some teachings just ain't as easy to get hold of than others. And, well, there's only so much that I could teach her. And the rest of it she had to figure out on her own. And that's why she set off on her own journey. Because that's all this is. Everyone's just on their own path. But if you harbor so much anger and you let it control you, then that's all you'll ever be. Angry. You can't choose to feel other things, you know. Let the sun shine through.
How? How do I do that?
By making a choice not to let it control you, you learn to control it. Anger's just another emotion. If it overcomes you, then that is it. You say that you like fighting? Well, that's the fight. That's the fight right there. You fight it, and if you don't want to be angry, you fight against it, and you just don't be angry. And you choose. You stand on your own 2 feet and say, hell, not today, Satan. Look.
And
We're going to roll with it.
Yeah.
Look,
and
I get it.
Then
I get it. This is going to take time. There's no amount of raking sand is going to help you. This is a long journey that you're on, son, but this is the first step. First step is just deciding whether to be pissed off or letting things go. Not everything needs a reaction.
and help me to not make my head stupid too.
Oh, shit. Ash did say you'd be here a while, but sure.
I'll stay if I have to. I need to be better for all of them, for everything. If that means learning sitting here for, I don't know, till more arms grow out of me and I get super chi or whatever it was you said there I don't know. Help me.
Well, all right.
Help me.
There you go. You're doing it. Making choices, and that's all this is. Okay, well, you play in the sand for a while, and when you're done, you come and find me, and we'll get on to the next lesson. But you don't put the
What am I
rate...
supposed to make?
Whatever you feel is right. And once you feel it's right, and you feel calm, and you're happy with it, then you're done. There's no science to this. There's no magic. There's no design. It's all up to you.
But how do I know what I've done?
Oh, you'll know.
Oh, okay.
When you're finished and you feel like you're done, come and find me, and we'll get on to the next lesson.
Okay. See you soon, I guess.
Oh.
He just sort of like kicks over all the kicks over all the lines he made and tries to like smooth out again and just like stomps around a bit and it's like, right.
He literally
like, really
takes
heavily puts it in and just like, oh shit.
He takes the pipe and puts it on the edge, on the stone edge to where this little garden is, and he just goes,
just in case it gets a bit too much, I'll leave that there for you.
Thanks. It's good pipe weed.
You got any more of that shit?
In the meantime, Clovis and Michael. Clovis, I'm going to tell you that after about an hour or so, you'll kind of deduct what these are. And I'm just going to tell you what they are. So, you have I believe, is it a goblet of the drunkard?
No.
Tankard of the drunkard. It's a tankard, isn't it, on D&D Beyond, but this is a drunkard.
Yeah, this is a goblet, okay.
Ooh. Oh, what does it do? I'm gonna have a look.
They're called a tankard of the drunkard?
I'm pretty sure it is. Let me see.
Oh, it's the tankard of sobriety, but it's the tankard of the drunkard.
Okay.
So it's the tankard of sobriety, but it's a goblet. It basically means that you can drink any ale, blah blah blah, and you just won't ever get inebriated.
Oh,
What's the point of that?
I'll take that.
That's why I've given it.
No.
There's a lot of things you can do with that.
Yeah.
And then I haven't added them to D&D Beyond yet, but the small box has 5 runic stones and runic glyphs on them. These are exactly that. They are dwarven runes that you can use the hammer with to imbue weapons with a specific rune. Each rune does a specific thing.
Okay. So I'll be playing with that, and I'll discover that by sort of pouring different liquids into the glass, and then trying some of the wine that I've got left over, and sort of figure it out from that. And I went, now this gives me some ideas. I'll say to Michael. These, though, are a little beyond me. An old friend might be able to make better use of them if we come across his path. You're not too familiar with blacksmithing or anything like that, are you?
I mean, not personally, but
What about
I
in
know
your
a guy.
previous life?
well, I know a guy in my current life. It's probably the best blacksmith I've ever seen.
Well, that could come in handy. Not quite able to figure out what the runes do, though. They're still in Dwarven, but they seem to have some effect. And that appears to be it. How are you keeping?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just I'm not a fan of these sorts of places, but I'm all right. Yeah,
He was here.
everyone did.
I didn't. I addressed him directly. I looked
Yeah,
like...
did you? Yeah, good. I thought you did. That's why I answered.
No, neither do I. Although it's a little more similar to something you're used to than what I'm used to.
I don't think it is. I mean, it's cold and desolate. Life, rock.
You haven't. You've not been to a city before, have you?
I kind of passed by one overhead once. Not my kind of thing.
Yes. Well, you're in for a treat.
Oh joy. Anyway, I I'm gonna go and check on the whole salt situation. You guys all right here? Or do you want to come with me, or?
I'm fine. Thanks.
Try to get them to come as quickly as possible.
I'll do just that. And Killian just kind of like pops himself up and starts wandering off. You see him kind of walk out the room, turn left. A moment later, just walk back from the left to the right.
So come on, it can't have all been doom and gloom. Anything interesting you learned in passing?
Well, there's something specifically about you, or rather, us, that I've learned.
What do you mean? Wasn't me that pulled you out the ground, Michael.
No. But
I have to insist, if there is something that concerns me, I would rather hear it myself.
we have the same father, you and I.
What?
What?
No, I'm fucking with you.
I was like, where did that come from?
No, sorry. That was just breaking the tension.
Jesus.
Clovis, I am your father.
Word of advice. Some topics are not worth joking about to certain people.
That's fair. No,
That's right.
I'm sorry.
It's fine, you weren't to know. I'll wait. I'm going to see where Ash is. And I stand up and head outside.
As you do, Ash, you'll pretty much just be finishing. And as you kind of like decast levitate and kind of open your eyes, there's a tortoise head like a mere foot away from you. And
Hey,
Victus is just kind of...
hello.
Hey!
Can I help you?
Well, no, but can I help you? You okay?
I'm okay. A lot's happened since I left.
Yeah.
I kind of went off the rails a bit for a time, but I was still trying to find answers, you know, like before. And then I stumbled across these guys in Candlekeep, who seemed to be searching for similar things.
Well, they seem like a good bunch. And you
They
seem...
are.
You seem different.
Oh, didn't you hear? I've been chosen by a god.
Well, I didn't hear that, no, but...
No,
that-
I was being sarcastic. I forgot that you don't really get sarcasm that well.
No, not really, but... How do you feel about it? You happy?
I don't know. I've never given a shite about the gods. They've never done anything for me. And I still feel like I'm reaching out to something that is just this abstract concept. But I mean, I saw them. I saw the Stormlord. He challenged me and they asked what storms were for, what the purpose of them was. I don't know. It's kind of similar to the stuff you would go on about.
Oh, you remember?
I do.
Well, I always said there's great forces at work beyond our even understanding.
And sometimes we're just measly mortals along for the ride.
Aye, well, it just feels like knowing for sure that there are gods out there. You can't help but wonder why they don't put a stop to all of the suffering.
It's not really their place to put an end to anything, really.
Then what is their place? V?
Well, if I knew the answers to that, I'd be a much wiser man than I already am.
And you're one of the wisest men I know. Are you still telling that anecdote about strangling a chicken?
It didn't go down well. I tried, but your friend over there he's a little thin in the mind department.
He's not. It's just buried behind quite a few layers.
Yeah, he's an angry son of a gun, isn't he?
We also met a chicken that was like a bartender, like he could talk, so that might...
Well, that just blows my mind! Hold on.
I know.
I'm gonna have to think of a whole new anecdote.
You are. But I don't know. These guys, they're good people. It feels wrong not having Feathers with us. But we're gonna
Well,
get her back.
anything I can do to help you, I will.
And at that point, Clovis, you're heading over and walking towards.
Now this one, I can't
No.
quite tell his aura.
Oh, that's
Is-
a rarity.
It's not that I can't tell, it's just I can sense a great many of them. Confusing like.
That doesn't surprise me.
Can't quite
Mhm.
tell which one's his.
I have a very, very malleable personality. Is the salt almost ready? I hate to be a bother.
You know, I haven't even asked about it yet. I shall go and do that. I got
Gee, I
distracted.
thought that was...
I'm so sorry. I'll,
And he just kind of like, onward, Nelly! And just turns the
Jesus.
tortoise, and the tortoise starts walking off.
Aye.
This is all making strangely a lot of sense.
In what way?
I don't know. It's just you.
Not what you expected?
I kind of didn't expect what I expected.
They're
But
not...
what I expected was far beyond the idea I had in mind. And I didn't think it could possibly be strange and, how should I say, uncommon practices. Unorthodox would be the word.
Oh, definitely. If you want to see something funny, if we go back in, I'm pretty sure that he's probably got Jove making pictures in the sand right about now. Aye.
Why are
Basically,
you still talking? Why are we still standing?
let's go. He's probably high as a kite, making pictures in the sand. Let's go.
I disguise self into a monk.
So you two start walking over to where Jove is. Jove, you've spent some time, calmed down. Finally actually using the rake with a bit of grace.
So I imagine, like, initially he was sort of like digging way too deep and like pulling up sand from like really deep down and going, oh, for fuck's sake, like kicking it back over and then sort of realizing that the grip is far too tough for a rake. And I imagine his patterns are more like, so he's got like big sort of zigzaggy lines and then some straight ones and then more zigzaggy ones. And he's not sort of like circles and stuff. It's more just sort of different versions of straight lines moving. Looks a bit like a big maw. So it's two sets of jagged lines and just straight ones through, but he's just sort of doing it from the top and his own thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
As Ash and a monk start walking over to you.
Hi.
You see this big cloud of smoke just like billow out from his nose. And
I was right.
Hi.
I take
Hey,
it.
whoa, hey, just give me the pipe back. I'll just take a man's pipe.
Your
It's not
friend
your
is
pipe.
doing it all wrong.
He's learning.
Who the fuck is
It's
that?
new. Oh, sorry. How rude. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I am King Babagan, the leader of this monastery.
You're a fucking idiot, Clovis.
I drop it. If I wanted to trick you, I would have.
You couldn't trick me if you tried. I'm
Challenge accepted.
like,
How's it going?
grabs the pipe back and just sits in his mouth. I mean, I'm making lines
Wait,
in the
wait.
sand.
What have you got there?
This is my pipe now.
No, I don't. He didn't give it to you. I also thought that. I ended up stealing it, and he was not happy, and I had to do drills for a long time. So, up to you.
Wait, how many people have used this thing?
I had not thought about that.
Always space for one more, and I'm going to try and snatch it off him.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Natural one.
As you do, weirdly, you move quickly, but Jove just moves slowly out of the way. And just weird time-space continuum thing just happens.
I trip and fall face flat in the sand.
Ruin what he does and ruins some of your lines.
Hey, my picture. I was supposed to finish that before I can do what comes next.
What were you doing? What were you drawing?
I don't know. Sand. It's just lines. And I don't really know what he wants me to do. It's just drawing lines in the sand.
Think what you've drawn.
Exactly what you're supposed to be drawing. A line in the sand.
I like exceptional symbolism there. Well done.
There you go.
And that's what we're going to end tonight's session on that.
I think what you've drawn here is order.
I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's the
Everything
zigzagging
in
and this.
Everything in its right place.
But he said I'm not supposed to think that way. I can't put things in places.
I'm just trying to sound clever. Just ignore me.
Well, no,
I
need
have no,
help
I
here.
have
don't
no
know.
idea what these people's methods are. I've never been in a place like this.
You keep going. It's a weird thing. It's almost when you feel like you can't do it anymore, then you stop. If you're happy with how it is, then you move on.
How do I know when I'm happy with it? When did you know you were happy with it?
I, being me, took it as an elaborate art challenge and decided to do a large cityscape, and I basically made it far too complex and I was there for hours. But
Stupid head, that's what he said, yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
He said you had a stupid head when you came here, and he helped you make it not stupid.
I like this man.
Right. Okay, well, that's good to know. I did have a stupid head, to be fair.
Well, I got one now. Maybe I'll just, I don't know. He sort of like turns around and just draws two big lines and then like a semicircle and just like, it's a face. A happy face. It's what I'm supposed to be.
No, you don't. You're not supposed to be anything, Jove. You
Yeah,
are.
that's what he said as well, but I don't get how you're supposed to not be something. You're something. So are you.
And so
We're
are you.
all something. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
But there's no point dwelling on this, what we're supposed to be, because we will never live up to that.
Yeah, but there was expectations of me. There was things I was supposed to be. I was taught things as a kid in ways you guys probably weren't. I mean, I know I talk about orc stuff a lot. Well, not a lot, but in general. But I mean, I'm not supposed to think outside of battle. I'm not supposed to be anything more than a machine for this fight that's going on everywhere. That's what I am.
Jove.
I am a
That's what-
fireblood.
That's what someone else wanted you to be. We're not
I
we're not what someone else thinks we are. We're not even always who we tell people we are. What we are is what we want to be and what we do.
I'm going to tell you something that'll make you laugh, Jove. I was supposed to inherit a noble lineage.
Uh,
Me.
So a bit like Clovis, you're both posh people who ran away from being posh.
Oh no, quite the opposite. I was not posh and wasn't supposed to be, but decided to be.
I did not run. More like kicked.
I was see this is the thing, but you chose to be things. You still are things. So I guess all right, so I have to do that as well.
I simply adapted to what life threw my way, and I believe that Clovis is the same. The situations that we found ourselves in, we adapted to. We did what we had to survive, and we are still doing that.
I mean, I thought I was.
Jeff, who do you think I am?
I don't know. I don't really. I don't. You're Clovis. You're the guy who I met in a town ages ago. You did some bad shit, but now you're doing some good shit, and now you're just you. You're you. I don't know. I don't really think that hard about people. You're just Clovis.
Then why do you think so hard about yourself?
Because I have to. It's what I was taught to do. My dad, the tribe, they said I had to be this thing in life. This is what I was supposed to be. It is not good and it is not right, but I have to hone this shame to make it something more for the clans. My blood, my fire, it has to be bent and broken and turned into something that is fitting and appropriate for orcs and prove that I can overcome it. So I must fight and I must feel it all, and only that way will I dominate it.
Jove, as someone who has. I understand, but you have to look around and realize we're not holding you to any orcish standards. We're not holding you to what your tribe wanted you to be. You are your own person now. Well, I want you to be able to control this because I don't want it to hurt you because I can see how much you struggle with it. I want you to do that for you, not because it's what you're supposed to do.
I don't know how, because if I let go of those last remaining pieces of home is gone, and then I am just the last piece of something that was destroyed. And I don't know if all I've met are other orcs that said what we were wasn't good, and they don't like us, and they left. And so I am just a piece of something people didn't like or want.
Then why hang on to it?
Because it's all I've ever had.
You.
Do you know what it's like to lose everything you ever knew?
Yes.
I don't just mean a parent or a family. I mean,
yes.
I never knew my mother. I never knew anything other than the clans, and then it was obliterated in the space of a few hours by fire and death. And I was moved far away to people who don't know who I am or what I'm about, and told to live in a world that I couldn't adapt to. And I still haven't. I don't know what I'm now I have to talk about it. I don't know what I'm hanging on to. I'm just stuck at home without one.
I wouldn't say that I've lost everything, because to be honest, I never really started with anything. I knew my mother. She was a wonderful person. She did everything she could for me. But it wasn't much within her means. When she died, I saw my life stretching before me, where I had come from, what I was supposed to be, and I told it to fuck off. And I left. And I decided to begin a new life, much older than you. I recreated myself. I decided my destiny. I decided what I was and who I would be. All of my weaknesses and follies that existed with me before I made that decision exist still to this day. But I am my own person and I make my own decisions about who I am. It's not difficult. You just have to let go.
Look at Eros, Jove. He still remembers, but he's let go and is starting anew. Yeah. I didn't have much choice to start anew. I have had so many iterations in my short-ish lifespan where I've had to recreate myself and be a new person, adapt. It's so easy to do, but now, instead of thinking, what would the clan want of you? Just ask what you want for yourself. Because we are all here to support whatever version of Jove comes out of this.
I'm going to walk onto the sand. And I'm going to put my arm out and grab Jove's forearm in a warrior's handshake. And I'll say, when we first met, not immediately, given the circumstances, but eventually, we held each other's arms like this. Do you remember?
Yeah, in the basement of Greenest.
And do you remember what you said to me? What you said to us? What you said to Feathers and I? And to Seb and to Vito? You told us we were part of the clan. You told us we were a clan. Well, now I have new instructions from the clan. Be you, Jove. Free yourself of these shackles. The clan does not need you to live in shame or to fight against your nature or to accept what you have been told harshly about yourself, which no one could possibly know is true. The clan needs you. We need Jove, not your past, not your ancestors. I'd slap against his chest. We need Jove.
As you sort of do that, you see sort of like a genuine sort of like a tear sort of run down one cheek and then sort of come from the other side. Yeah, okay, sure.
Don't do it, but don't do it because I said it.
I mean, it's a good place to start. I'm going to listen to you all the time, so take it while you can get it. As he says that, he like yanks you in, and one arm goes around, and he's just sort of like, you can hear like a vertebrae pop every so often. And he's like it's a very tight hand there.
We do have a complicated. Go on.
I knew you were going to be friend for a while, all the way back there in Greenest when you told that truth. I knew there was more to you than just fancy clothes.
As
You're right about that.
As you guys are talking, Master Victus turns up again.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, I've done what you asked, and I've sorted you out as much salt as I could find. I'm gonna have it taken up to your friend.
How much?
A whole barrel.
Okay. I
We
don't
can
know.
work with that.
I think that'll be okay. Thank you. V, thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. I'm just happy to have you home.
Thank you, V.
I even stopped by the kitchen and told him to make that stew that you used to like for dinner. You know, the one with the beef in it and the potatoes that you like?
V.
I know, I'm joking.
Okay. Do you want to give this a go then?
Yes, if you don't mind.
We
I have
Yeah,
a few
God.
stern words I wish to share with our friend.
I have more training to do, so yeah.
I
Thanks,
think
guys.
I think we all need to be there. Do we?
Oh,
Do we?
do you need me?
Do I
No one
need...
can keep her in line like you can, my friend.
Well, if you've got things to do, that's fine, but you come back here sharpest for your next lesson.
All right, let me just remake my picture. I'll be with you in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Let me just redo the lines.
I kind of step back across the sand in my footsteps.
Joe doesn't let you go. He just sort of like leans back slightly and walks you to like the thing and just puts you down. And then before she has a chance to move, he just sort of quickly grabs Ash and does the exact same thing and just pops a couple of vertebrae and just really
Oh,
bends in
needed
the
that.
middle and then
It's actually
Right.
quite nice, isn't it?
I needed that. Oh, great.
anyway, let me draw my lines and you go find this salt. Yeah, go.
Join
Like-
us soon.
Michael, as you're in the room, after a while of being in the room, Killian rolls this small barrel in to the room and kind of stands it up, and he's like, well, this is all they got. This is all they could spare.
Sure, it's going to be fine. Thank you. And I stand up because Michael's been sitting on his knees, just looking, or not really looking, but his face towards the ground, just been thinking about what he's experienced and the memories that he's been shown, and sort of trying to process it all. Would you like to help me? Gently, please pour this over.
He will do, but you will notice that this isn't 200 pounds of salt.
I am going to kill you.
This was not in my control. While you guys have been talking, I have asked Natalie to roll me some dice to determine how much salt you found.
Oh God.
And you found approximately 125 pounds of salt.
And how much salt did I manage to get?
About 20. So you've got 145 pounds so far.
Just wants a new character, that's all it is.
Right, well, I don't know. Does a barrel fit inside the bag of holding? I don't.
I
When is your-
don't know how it works.
Can I turn to Turtle Man?
Victus, yeah?
Victus. When is your next trade caravan due to arrive?
We usually get them in every 3 or 4 days. Probably tomorrow, I would expect.
I could go into Loudwater or Yartar or something
Well, S is here.
Oh,
If you wanted to go and send him out, but he'd probably want something in return.
I mean, that'd be great.
I'm not asking him. He got there.
Fine.
He got here this morning. You can go and ask him. He's
No,
been out
no.
on the road for days.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Okay. S. That's good. That's good. Okay. Right. Where is the fucker? And I'm looking up for where he might be perched.
He's not in here, but you start running around the monastery, and as you run into the kitchen, you kind of look up, and he's kind of lay across the beam that's at the top, kind of the top beam, lay with his wings hanging down, just with a bit of bread and just kind of like lounging around.
S. Hi.
So, you're back.
Temporarily. I know that you've just got back, but I have so
and
many
you just see he kind of like rolls off the thing and like drops until he gets to about 5 foot off the ground. His wings come out and he's just like, what is it?
I really need you to get some salt.
Okay, but you know the deal.
I know.
And as
Sure.
many as I want.
Okay.
Clovis comes running through. Ashar, where did you go?
Oh.
Who?
This is S.
I will let you describe S.
You see a vulture-looking Aarakocra,
Nice.
about 6'5" in stature, massive wings that fade to black on the tips. These like hulking talons for feet. Just like, and this little pair of spectacles on his beak.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Clovis Crowley.
I don't care. Where am I going?
Anywhere that sells salt. How much salt do we need still?
Sorry.
More.
Sorry, Clovis. That was rude. I'm tired. I've been on the road for some days. I'd apologize. That was very rude of me. I'm S. Please, nice to meet you.
I completely understand. One of our friends was just killed by a dragon as well. Don't worry about it. Yes, we do require some salt.
A dragon? Okay, that's the first one.
I know. I've got them banked up. Okay, it's all fine.
At least 60 pounds would suffice.
60 pounds.
Yes, please.
Okay.
We need her back.
Okay. I'll be back as quick as I can.
Thank you.
We'll pay handsomely, please.
Oh, don't worry.
No, he doesn't want
Ashar is
money.
going to cover the cost aplenty. £60, you say? That's it. And as he's walking off towards the door of the kitchen,
Oh, dear
on
God.
his hands.
What have I just roped you into?
He is a sucker for gossip and stories.
Oh, thank God for that.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Right, well.
Okay, now what?
Jove, as you're walking to come back into the monastery, kind of like sorted yourself out, walking back, smoking your pipe. Victor's kind of meets you in the Great Hall as you're kind of like crossing paths. He's like,
Ah, there you are. Are you ready for your next lesson?
Yeah, I think it's time. Do I have to call you anything?
Oh, yes, great master.
Yeah, fair. So, great master, what are we doing now?
Oh, it worked. I didn't expect that to work. Okay, follow me.
and he kind of walks you to just a little bit in, but to the side where one of the walls is. He's like,
Right. Put your back against the wall.
Oh, okay.
and he kind of like walks to like the side and picks up a cup and a jug of water.
Right, hold this out in front of you.
cup or the jug?
The cup. Hold the cup and just hold it out in front of you.
Okay.
And he just pours, quite literally, a quarter of the cup in. It's like, is that heavy?
No. Should it be?
Hold your arm out.
Yep.
Okay, now leave it there and I'll be back in a little while.
He puts the jug down and walks off.
Some Mr. Miyagi shit, right?
Just stood holding a cup. Like,
Yeah, as in like he arm stretched out, holding a cup.
yeah.
And about half an hour later, he comes back and he's like, "Is it heavy yet?" And your arm's starting to ache a little bit. Kind of feels a bit heavier than when you first had it.
I mean, my arm hurts, but the cup's still not heavy.
Okay, I'll be back soon.
And he just turns and walks off.
Okay. Bye.
Leaves you there for another half an hour and comes back, and by this point your arm is shaking and you're holding onto the cup. Your arm's dropped a little bit. He's like,
Does it feel heavy yet?
I guess a bit. I don't know. My arm hurts. I feel like you're
Okay.
trying to teach me something and I don't get it.
Well, you will.
and he kind of turns and walks off again and leaves you for another half an hour. But during this time, Ashar, Michael and Clovis, what are you three doing?
I'm going to get some of Ventus's pipeweed.
Are you
Head-
from where?
His store. I'm going to try and sneak in.
Are you?
Yeah.
Because it's you and because you're home and I'm not feeling horrible, I'm going to just allow you to get some of this pipeweed.
Yay!
Because let's be honest, you guys have had a bit of a rough
We've
time
been
of it.
through quite a bit.
Yeah.
Clovis will partake.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm just kind of like sharing it.
Jove comes back going, guys, I learned so much, and you three are just sat there pie-eyed like, so did we, man, so did we.
Dude, we learned so much about each other.
And that's the important thing. Yeah, so I should just kind of like light up the pipe and we'll like offer it to Clovis, anticipating that he'd partake.
And that's how we derail. Just drugs. We just get into drugs, and that's how it all ends. The Fallen.
Welcome to D&D, everyone.
Not a drug, it's a plant.
Don't worry about it.
Should we save the world, guys? No. Fine.
So, for the sake of brevity, you guys all chill out in the barracks, and after another half an hour, Jove,
Yeah.
as Master Victus is walking up, your hand shakes and aches that much that you drop the cup on the floor and your arm just drops to the side and numb. So,
Okay.
Was that heavy in the end? You'd hardly hold on to it, huh?
Well, yeah, but not because the cup was heavy, because my arm hurts.
Exactly. Doesn't matter how much you hold. The longer you hold on to it, the more it'll hurt. Gotta let shit go. It hurts, and it's a painful lesson, I know, but it doesn't matter that cup at the start was nice and light. You thought you could hold it forever, and it wasn't going to bother you. After a little while, it starts to ache a little bit, niggle at you. A little while longer, and your arm feels like it's about to drop off, and eventually you just collapse, and you drop whatever it is you're holding.
This guy is a
So is it
fucking
like-
Pinterest board at this point.
Yeah.
All right, Tumblr, calm down.
Transported back to
Is it-
2014.
Oh my god, emo boys.
Listen, son. Like I said, life's all about choices, and you got some tough ones to make. But as long as you stay true to yourself, I'm sure you're gonna find the right path. Don't let things take over you. You're in control, you always have been. It's up to you whether or not you hold it in your arms out straight, or if you just let it go by the wayside.
I have so much to learn from you. What do I do now? What's the next thing?
Well, what do you like to do for fun? What do you enjoy? Which is your favorite part of the day?
I can't say fighting, can I?
No, you cannot.
Oh.
If you'd like to spar, though, I've got some fairly handy people here that'll teach you a thing or two.
That'd be cool.
But I don't think you're quite ready for that yet.
Why? I can fight your students.
Yeah, you wouldn't last very long. Follow me.
Okay, let's go.
You look hungry.
Who isn't? I killed a plant dragon recently. It's been a very
JJ Timberman now put this rock in your shoe. Amazing.
I mean, I'm always. We've had a very hard couple of days. We had to cure a forest of black stuff and kill a dragon made of plants.
Well, let me ask you this. What would you like to do for your friends? Something that you could do to put a little smile on their face in trying times.
I cook better than all of them.
Well, great. Let's go cook them something to eat. Well, maybe not Ash. I promised her some stew that Chef is currently cooking up.
Do you have any recipes she'd like? I kind of want to keep a few just in case.
Oh, yes, I do. I don't, but the chef does. He knows all her favorites. She used to like these like little cakes that we make with raisins in. They're quite hard, but when you cut them and put a little bit of butter on them, they're so nice. And she used to try and she stole them. Kept stealing them from the kitchen.
I'm more of a meat and vegetables man, but
she doesn't. She doesn't eat meat.
Yeah, I know. I've already come across that problem. Just whatever isn't chicken based, I guess, or cow or pig. She'd fish.
No,
that count.
He does not.
It's fish. It's not meat.
I'm not the one that eats it.
Look, great master. I'm just asking you. You know her better than I do, right?
Well, let me tell you this off of the back of that statement there. I know exactly what Ash used to be like. And, well, she was before she left. But I sense that she's a completely different person now in some ways. And I'm happy.
I mean, a thunder god made her a champion. That'll change you.
That's not what changed her the most.
I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty big change, but okay.
No,
you know her.
That's not what changed her. Do you know what my guess would be? It's you.
Great master.
You. No. And the other people she arrived here with, because one thing that she'd be yearning for a long time is just people that care about her or would actually give a shit enough to stick around.
I mean, it's probably everyone else more than me, but sure, I take that on.
Yeah, this stupid head thing's getting contagious. Come on, let's go to the kitchen.
And he takes you into the kitchen, and for the sake of brevity, you guys spend the rest of the evening there. Jove cooks a lovely meal. You bed down for the night, eagerly anticipating returning. Level 9?
Eagerly anticipating level 7.
Yeah. You guys gain the benefits of a long rest.
Michael sleeps quite poorly.
And
I think
we're going to end the session there. Ready for the next morning, for when this Aarakocra potentially comes back.
Come on, S.
And that's where we're going to end. That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
What?
That was fucking well good.
Right?
That was so fun.
I enjoyed watching, Natalie.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, Natalie.
Just like you guys watched at home.
So, please stick around, guys, at home. We're going to raid another channel. We're going to raid a channel called Girls Run These Worlds.
Oh, yes, they do.
So, thank you.
That's a stretch.
Thank you, everyone, for coming and being a part of tonight's session. We will be back on Thursday for Spelljammer. We love you very much. Thank you so much for stopping by. And make sure you hit loads of hype and everything in this next channel when we go and see them. Take care,
Have a
Just like
guys.
Jove, learn from
Have a
yourself and be
fun
good.
Thursday.
Bye. We'll see you Thursday.
See you Thursday.
Bye.
Oh yeah, Thursday.
Bye.